The following is a presentation of Channel 11 Sports. It's time for New York Yankees baseball. With big league excitement, Bronx Bomber style. Live, right here on New York's only Yankees baseball station, Channel 11, WPIX.
From frigid Tiger Stadium in Detroit, WPIX Sports presents New York Yankee baseball. Tonight, the Yankees meet the Detroit Tigers. Starting pitchers for tonight's game are Melito Perez for the Yankees and Eric King for Detroit. Hi, everybody. Welcome to New York Yankee baseball. Phil Rizzuto along with Bobby Mercer and Tom Seaver a little later on. And Bobby, the Yankees have won their first two ball games, and away. There's always one team that jumps out in front and has a hot streak at the beginning, and they pick up on everybody. And that was the case with Oakland a couple of years ago. Toronto right now 5-0.
Well, the Yankees have won two big ball games simply because I think they've beaten two of the best pitchers in all of baseball, Roger Clemens and Frank Viola. It's always great to get off to a good start, but it's only two games, and there's 160 more games to go. But there's a lot of optimism flowing around the Yankee clubhouse right now.
Well, there's no doubt about it. I mean, they're all happy the way they're playing ball now, and you get a different hero every day. I think that's the only way you're going to win a pennant. You can't bank on one or two guys to carry you the whole season.
Well, I think one of the great things the Yankees did in this Yankee homestand opening up the season is the fact that they didn't give up. I mean, Clemens actually dominated this ball club until about the 5th or 6th inning, and the Yankees came back to beat him in the 6th inning. Same thing happened last night against Viola, so they're not a give-up ball club.
No, they definitely aren't. And tonight we're going to get our first look, a reel in the start of the season, Melito Perez.
Well, I think this is really a new lease on life for Melito Perez. Last year, he was stuck in the bullpen with the Chicago White Sox. I don't think he really liked it, even though he pitched well out of the bullpen for the White Sox. He's going to get a chance to start for the Yankees this year. That's what he's always wanted to do. He started for the Chicago White Sox before going to the bullpen, so I think he feels more relaxed in the starting role. We'll have to wait and see. He's going to have some guys that he's going to have to pitch very well to because they've got some bombers over here.
Oh, they do, and Detroit has had the last year they scored over 5 runs a game.
Well, they scored, I think, about 817 runs, which computes to about a little over 5 runs per game this year. They are giving up about 4 runs per game. So they score a lot of runs, but they also give up a lot of runs, too.
And, of course, they got Cecil Fielder, who's at right field stands for him is getting pretty cozy. I saw he's got
right field. Forget about it. This guy could hit it out of any place.
I know, but 2 of his 3 homers have been in the right field bleachers, one in the upper deck.
I'll tell you what, if you've never seen Cecil Fielder hit, you've got to tune in tonight because this guy is just awesome. He's awesome, baby, just like Vitale would say.
He is really that way. And we'll be back with the starting lineups right after this.
Yankee Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers. With that clean, crisp, cold taste, nothing beats a Bud. And by your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. There's only one Jeep, and it's only at your Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. And by Nobody Beats the Wiz Home Entertainment Centers. For everything in home electronics, music, and movies, nobody beats the Wiz. Hello, everybody, and welcome to beautiful Tiger Stadium in a chilly Detroit, as Scooter talked about in the opening. Bobby Mercer just asked me, what's the temperature? I'm guessing it's 36 degrees. Very chilly here in Detroit for the first of this 3-game series. The Tigers, who have not won yet, and the Yankees, who have not lost yet. And on the mound for the Detroit Tigers, Eric King, and he will look at a New York Yankee undefeated lineup that will be like this tonight. Randy Velarde leads it off and plays shortstop. Don Mattingly hits in the 2nd spot and plays first. Roberto Kelly, the center fielder, hits 3rd. Mel Hall in left field tonight. He'll bat cleanup. Danny Tartabil is the DH, and he hits 5th. Matt Noakes does the catching. Jesse Barfield in right field. He hits 7th. Charlie Hayes, the 3rd baseman, hits 8th. And Pat Kelly, the 2nd baseman, hits 9th. And on the mound, Eric King. 6'2", 220-pound right-hander, right over the top. Fastball and curveball. Last year, 6-11 with Cleveland. He split the season actually between Cleveland and the Colorado Springs Ball Club, excuse me. And he is 28 years old today. Looking for a birthday present, making his 1992 season debut here as the Detroit Tigers are trying to get on the winning side. They lost 3 games to the Toronto Blue Jays. Toronto won again today. They scored 2 runs in the bottom of the 9th inning and defeated Baltimore 4-3. Oh, the Blue Jays off to a great start, 4-0. And the Yanks right on their trail with 2 wins and no losses. Buck Showalter with Steve Howe on his left and on the screen left, excuse me, and Frank Howard to Buck Showalter's left. Trying to make his ball club 3-0 here tonight. And the boys, Bobby Mercer got their long johns on tonight. It is chilly here.
Let me ask you one question before the game starts. It's cold and it's damp, and for the pitcher's advantage, there's really not a whole lot of advantage because it's hard to get the feel on the ball, right, Tom?
Well, you work a little bit faster. If there's one individual on the field that has an advantage, it's the pitcher, because he's the one expending the most energy, and when he's not on the mound, he can go back and find a warm place in the dugout.
All right, Randy Velarde leads it off for the Yankees, and he takes one over for a called strike. Velarde has done the job. Mike Gallego on the disabled list. He has not played a game, a regular season game for the Yankees as of yet. Beautiful pitch by Eric King, and Velarde is in the hole 0-2. The first 3 for the Yankees, Velarde, Mattingly, and Kelly. And quite a story about Eric King. It was a few years ago when he was with the Tigers. He had a little falling out with Sparky Anderson. Now he's back. Out low and outside. It's also Eric King's 28th birthday today. It's been his first 3 major league seasons here in Detroit. And then he went on to the White Sox and the Cleveland Indians, and then the Tigers finally signed the right-hander as a free agent in January. Curveball hit out into right field. Carry-on is there to make the catch, and there's one down.
Good curveball by King. And Velarde was way out in front. A big ballpark. This ballpark definitely will be to the advantage of the left-hand hitter. Just 325 down the right field line, 340 down the left field line. And a monster shot to center field, 440 feet. That's a little bit out of Mattingly's range right there. I think Cecil can hit it out there.
He can. Mattingly takes a called strike. The umpires tonight behind home plate is Al Clark. At first base, Larry Barnett. Second base is Greg Kosk. And Dale Ford at third. Mattingly grounds one to the, well, I guess you would say one of the most stable second basemen around today, and Lou Whitaker. Tell you what a job Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell have done for this ball club. You talk about strength up the middle. This club has had it for a few years, haven't they?
They've had it since 1978. There's talk about this may be the last year for these two. Contract disputes and whether the ball club will re-sign Whitaker. He's talking about moving on, and he and Trammell have been playing together since 1978. Longest combination, obviously, in the big leagues.
A lot of things going on here in Detroit. Talking about selling this ball club, talking about maybe building a brand new ballpark. And Roberto Kelly. Strike one to Kelly. Kelly's got 4 RBIs on the season. Big hit last night as he scored, knocked in the first run for the Yankees. And Danny Tartabull followed with a 2-run double. Yankees won it. This time he's going to ground it to the right side. Whitaker once again over to the fielder. And the Yankees go 1-2-3 here at the top of the first. At the end of 1/2 inning here in Detroit. It's the Yankees nothing and the Tigers coming to bat.
All right, we go to the bottom of the first inning here in Detroit. Melito Perez on the mound for the Yankees, and the Tigers will send the lineup. It looks like this. Dan Gladden leads it off, plays left field. Lou Whitaker hits second and plays second. Alan Trammell in the 3 spot. He's the shortstop for the Tigers. Cecil Fielder, Tiger first baseman in the cleanup spot. Mickey Tettleton does the catching and hits 5th. Tony Phillips, the DH, hits 6th. Mark Carrion, the former Met, is in right field. He hits 7th. Travis Fryman, youngest member of the ball club, plays 3rd base, and Milt Kyler in the number 9 spot, center fielder for Detroit. And on the mound, Melito Perez, making his first start here this season for the Yanks. Perez, 6'4", 180 pounds, a big man, 26 years old. And the Yanks would like to get him on track, Bobby.
Well, the first pitch from Perez is down low for a ball as Dan Gladden steps in. Gladden, of course, with the world champion Minnesota Twins, and he signs as a free agent with the Detroit Tigers. Cues this one off the end of the bat foul, so the count goes to 1-1. It'll be Gladden, Lou Whitaker, and Alan Trammell, the first three here in the bottom of the first inning here at Tiger Stadium. The Yankees did not score in the top half of the first. I think old Danny, he feels a little bit slighted, you know, that he did such a great job in his mind, and he did do a good job for the Minnesota Twins, and then all of a sudden, they don't want to sign him to the type of contract that he wants, and he has to move on and sign with the Detroit Tigers.
Really a financial decision more than anything else, on both sides, probably.
In there for a called strike, and that will even the count up at 2-2. But more interesting is Melito Perez. This youngster is really I guess you would say, more of a puzzle than anything else. He's got 4 good pitches. He just seems to be so inconsistent. That's outside for a ball, 3-2. Got a real live fastball, a good slider, a changeup, and an outstanding forkball. And I think the Chicago White Sox, Sammy Ellis, who was with the White Sox last year as a pitching coach, I think he thought that Melito may have been worrying too much in between starts, so they put him in the bullpen. Randy Velarde up with it, and Mattingly, and they just barely nipped Gladden. As one down, Randy took his time on that and got Gladden just by about a half a step at first.
I kind of have my own theory about Melito Perez. I'll take a look at it again. Exactly right. He was very deliberate on the throw to first base. Gladden runs extremely well, boy, much less than half a step. Look at that. That was really close.
Lou Whitaker will step in. What can you say about Lou Whitaker? Nothing but good. Takes the pitch up high. Whitaker stands 9th on the all-time Tiger home run list with 190. And this year needs 35 hits for 2,000 in his career. Another pitch up high, 2-0, but has really stabilized second base with power, RBIs, and it can run. Tell you what, you just don't find players like Lou Whitaker and Alan Trammell every day, especially in today's market. 3-0 now to Whitaker. Just a slight breeze out in center field, blowing a little bit from right field to left field. Pitch is in there for a called strike, 3-1. Alan Trammell on deck for the Tigers. No score here in the bottom of the first inning with 1 out. Good pitch by Perez, and that's on. That runs the count to 3-2. One thing about this Detroit ball club, they will strike out quite a bit. They led the major leagues in strikeouts as a team last year. But I'll tell you what, they can put some numbers on the board in a hurry. Foul off the left side. Be back into the stands and out of play.
I was mentioning before, Bobby, I really have my own theory about Melito Perez. For 3 years, he was in that starting rotation with the Chicago White Sox back in 1988, and then last year they put him in the bullpen. I really believe it's too many forkballs. He has a real good forkball, but I was watching him warm up. He has an excellent fastball and a nasty slider. And I think a lot of times players, there's a base on balls for Whitaker, young pitchers, will fall in love with that split finger and get away from the basics of the game, throwing that fastball and the good hard slider, which he does have. If you don't have those pitches, you know, you can't use them. And I think that's possibly what happened, and it affected his overall stuff.
Well, he lost Whitaker. That'll bring up Alan Trammell. Trammell with 1 RBI, but more importantly, Alan Trammell was bothered by back spasms almost the entire spring training. So playing tonight in this cool weather, so we got to presume that he's all right. Perez having problems finding the strike zone. That's the inconsistency that everybody is talking about. And Perez, I don't think he's thrown a forkball yet. It's been mainly all fastballs. He's just trying to establish himself out on the mound, looks
He
like.
threw one to Gladden, was all. Hit it off that one. He cued off the end of the bat. That was the only one. Yep.
Little tapper. Perez, his only play is going to be at first. Whitaker will move down to second. There's 2 outs. That'll bring up the guy everybody's been talking about, Cecil Fielder. I don't know, Tom. You tell me how you would approach a guy like Cecil Fielder. Being a pitcher in a ballpark such as Tiger Stadium here, I mean, do you pitch to the guy or don't you?
I don't pitch to him. I mean, actually, it depends on what you have on each individual day. The one thing you don't want to do is let him extend his arms. The guy behind him is no slouch anyway, Mickey Tettleton, especially in this ballpark. I mean, a perfect guy to hit behind Fielder, a switch hitter. But you've got to keep the ball in on Fielder. You just can't leave the ball in the middle of the plate. He's the kind of guy that you make a mistake, he's going to hit it 800 miles.
Yeah. And even if you don't make a mistake, he can hit 800 miles. Up high for a ball 1-0. You certainly can't pitch behind on Fielder and expect for him to lay off of a 2-0 or a 3-1 pitch, even a 3-0 pitch. The guy you're talking about hitting behind Fielder in this lineup is Mickey Tettleton, the catcher. A switch hitter with power from both sides. So who do you choose to pitch to? Up high, 2-0. Fielder has 3 hits this year. Those 3 hits resulted in 3 home runs for him. He's got 7 RBIs. Well, if you're going to make a 2-0 pitch, that's where you want to make it on Fielder.
Cecil's going. Here's a young kid pitching. Right? He throws a slider right down and away on the black, on the knees. That's an 0-2 pitch, and he threw it 2-0.
He went around. First base umpire Larry Barnett said yes, and that'll even account up at 2-2. It looks like the last 3, and I don't know if my eyes are deceiving me, I don't see that well these days, but it looks like the last 3 pitches, Melito has really popped that fastball. Don't say anything about my eyes either.
I won't. I wouldn't dare touch it.
Just missing, low and outside. Defensive alignment for the Yankees. Even though it's at the bottom of the first inning, this is the big pitch in the ball game coming up.
He would not give in to him either. Threw the slider on 3-2. Threw the slider on 2 balls and no strikes. The slider was, from our vantage point up here in the press box, watching him warm up, and Mark Connor standing right behind him in the bullpen. His slider was outstanding in the bullpen and very consistent, good control right where he threw that 2-0 pitch. Let's see if he comes with it again.
Got it. And Randy Velarde picks it up and throws to Mattingly, but a good pitch by Melito Perez. He did not give in to Cecil Fielder and made some great pitches to the dangerous hitter at Tiger Stadium. At the end of 1, there's no score.
Yankee fans, this copyrighted telecast is authorized under the rights granted by the New York Yankees solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or the use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of this game without the express written consent of the Yankees and WPIX is prohibited. Well, the first battle of the ball game, Melito Perez against Cecil Fielder. Those are fun little battles.
Yes, they are.
He chose to go after him, pitch to him, not give in to him, but even with first base open, Bobby, very aggressive and go right after him.
And, you know, I did mention that even though it was the bottom of the first inning, it's still a big pitch.
Oh,
with this
absolutely.
guy. One swing of the bat, it's 2-0.
Oh, yeah.
We go to the top of the second inning, and Mel Hall will lead it off for the Yankees, followed by Danny Tartabull and Matt Nose. Hall still looking for his first hit of the 1992 season, and he found that pitch back out of play. Well, I guess with Mel Hall playing left field, you've got to figure that Kevin Moss is wondering what the heck is going on. Kevin has not played yet here in 1992. And right now, Danny Tartabull is a designated hitter. He's still in that position simply because his wrist is not 100% healed, so it's better for him to swing the bat and not throw the ball, so they're keeping him out of left field. And that puts Mel Hall out there and leaves Kevin Moss as the odd man out. Hit deep to right center field. Going back is Kyler, and it's gone off the facing of the upper deck in right center. And when Mel Hall breaks out of it and gets his first hit here in 1992, it's impressive.
Mel Hall got a fastball up in the strike zone and a rocket right out of here. Mel Hall, this bud's for you. Boy, he got a mistake. One of the things about Eric King, if he makes mistakes up, his ball is straight as an arrow, and Mel Hall is as good a fastball hitter as there is in the American League. And he tomahawked that ball. He was all over it. Even with the wind blowing in, that ball hit a line drive off the facing of the upper deck.
Tartabull swings and fouls that up to the right side. No balls and 2 strikes to Danny Tartabull. A big 2-run double by Danny last night to win the ball game for the Yankees as they beat the Red Sox at Viola. So Tartabull with 3 RBIs on the year. The Yankees lead it 1-0. That's inside and low. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, Mel Hall last year, he said, if you'll play me, I'll show you I can hit. Of course, Mel is a very vocal type of guy, and he has certainly, what would you say, put the bat where his mouth is?
He proved himself right,
Yeah.
didn't he? Absolutely.
Well, he was really talking to Stump and saying, look, there's no need to keep me out from playing against left-handed pitchers. I can still hit left-handers as well as I can right-handers. And he just said, well, if you want to find out, just put me in there and I'll show you. He was a great asset to the Yankees last year, and I like to see that left-handed power. I mean, I'm an old traditional Yankee, and growing up with the Yankees and being there for so many years, that left-handed power has meant so much to the Yankees in Yankee Stadium. That pitch fouled off to the right side.
I agree with you 100%. That raises the question, the topic you just brought up a second ago about Kevin Moss. We got a guy that's conceivably a 30 to 40 home run a year man. But where do you play him? I don't think the Yankees are done with making some moves. I don't think that they're totally sure about their shortstop position. They're not totally set in their outfield. You know, and as things progress, other players may be getting some playing time.
Oh, I think to stick Michael anytime he thinks he can improve this ball club, he's going to do it. He's constantly looking for something to do. Of course, the pitching everybody talks about. They wanted to try to improve the starting pitching as much as they can. Right now, Danny Tartabull is down at first base. The first walk given up by Eric King, and Matt Noakes will step in. Matt did not play last night. He's 1 for 3 in the opening series. Pitch down low for a ball, 1-0. Well, this is the time of year that the players bring out the turtlenecks, keep the hot water bottles on the bench. A cold, crisp, cool night here. Off the end of the bat into right field, Matt Noakes. And Danny Tartabull will stop at second. The Yankees rallying here in the top of the second inning. Nobody out, runners at first and second, and Jesse Barfield will be the batter.
Eric King got hit very hard his last 2 times in spring training. In order for him to be effective, he has to pitch his hard stuff fastball, which is straight as an arrow. He has to pitch it in off the plate, both the right and left-hand hitters, and got to keep the breaking ball down. Now, that sequence of pitches to Noakes, he bounced the curveball, and if he loses confidence in that and has to try to pitch to this Yankee team with just his fastball, the Yankees could hit some rockets here tonight.
Barfield with a big swing. He's looking for his first hit here in 1992. Has 20 career home runs versus the Tigers. Also a .293 career hitter here at Tiger Stadium. Runners at first and second for the Yankees. Breaking ball on the outside corner, and Barfield behind in the count, 0-2. This is the type of night that you expect not a whole lot of runs to be scored, because the pitchers really have an advantage, I think, over the hitters, being as cold as it is and as windy. But on the other hand, it could be that a pitcher, like you said, you said maybe they do have the advantage because they're constantly working and they're not quite as cold as the hitter who has been standing over the batting circle.
Absolutely.
Still got some feeling and moisture in their hands.
I know hitters hated to swing get jammed on cold nights. I wouldn't hit it like that. And pitchers know it too.
Popped up right side. Whitaker there to make the catch, and the umpire's called automatic out. So there's one down. Runners remain at first and second. And the third baseman, Charlie Hayes, will come to the plate.
There's Sparky Anderson, sending out signs or else keeping his hands warm, one of the two. Sparky, senior manager in the American League.
Quite a little contrast tonight. We got the youngest manager in baseball in Buck Showalter, and then we got the dean sitting over on the other side. See what, he's fun to talk to, Sparky. Talking to him before today's ball game. I'll tell you, he can ramble on.
He's got a lot of Casey in him.
Oh, he's got some Casey. Yes, he does. Down low. You got to be careful with Buck Showalter, because Bucky is an aggressive guy. You never know what he's going to do. He's got runners at first and second. Charlie Hayes up. You got to be alive at all times. Foul ball off the left side. Let's pause 10 seconds along the Yankee Baseball Network for station identification.
You know, Bobby, talking about Sparky and Casey. Sparky, when he would get 6 wins here in this season, he'll move past Casey Stengel into 7th place on the all-time winning list. He has had some kind of career with the Cincinnati Reds and the Detroit Tigers.
Right back up the middle, right through the legs of Eric King. Tartabull will come around to score. Noakes will go to third, and the Yankees lead it 2-0. The ball gets away, but no damage. So Charlie Hayes, who is now 3 for 6 or 4 for 6 on the season, is really smacking that ball.
A breaking ball, and Charlie Hayes simply kept his hands back. A good piece of hitting. Right back up the middle between Eric King's legs. And the Yanks go on top 2-0. And that's going to bring Billy Muffet out of the Tiger dugout to have a visit with Eric King. The Yanks with 2 runs in here in the top of the 2nd inning. Just 1 out. And runners still at the corners for him.
Tom, it's one thing for a pitcher to be able to have control and throw his pitches where he wants to and be smart on the mound and be savvy, but it's another thing to also to be able to field your position too. I mean, if he comes up with that ball, yes, it was hit kind of hard, but if you get down quick enough and you come up with it, you turn the double play and there's no run scored and you're out of the inning.
It's actually where you end up, the position you end up when you're throwing the ball. And balance at the end of your delivery. And there are not many pitchers that work on that. Not many pitchers will go to spring training and think about, well, when I release the ball, am I in good fielding position?
Runners at first and third for the Yankees. One down and Pat Kelly at the plate. Kelly pops this one up right side. It won't be far enough, I don't think. Well, now all of a sudden the wind catches it, but Whitaker stays with it, but not far enough to score Noakes from third. That wind really took it and fooled Lou Whitaker.
I think Lou Whitaker gave up on the ball and was looking for Mark Carrion. And then all of a sudden said, whoop, no, I better take this.
Showed a little snow cone.
He did. He stopped just momentarily, and Carrion was calling for it, and then all of a sudden, it looked like Lou saw that the wind was bringing that ball back toward the infield and said, no, I better handle this thing. Usually the rule is it's the outfielder's ball. That one really buffed the ball back toward the infield.
Randy Velarde batting for the second time. Fouls that one off his right leg. Randy, who flied out to right field his first time up. I don't think there's anything that frustrates a hitter more than leaving a runner on at third base with less than 2 outs. I know it did me. And you can imagine how many times I was frustrated.
He really had a pretty good pitch to hit, too.
Yeah.
Oh, it was up in the hitting zone.
But
good pitch
when you
to
got
drive
the
to
runner over there,
outfield.
you've got to really make it the pitch that you want. Inside and low, 1-1. But the youngster, Pat Kelly, these are things that he'll learn. He'll learn as he gains more experience. And I'm sure when he went back to the dugout, you know, Mr. Optimism, Hondo, got him by the side, told him all about it, went over the situation with him. Another foul off the left side.
Well, it's a theory of going up there, Hondo. You could speculate what Hondo might be saying to Kelly, but one of the things that you hear so very often from hitting coaches, go up there and look for a pitch that you can hit. Don't go up and hit the pitcher's pitch. Go up and look for up to 2 strikes. Look for the pitch that you want to hit. If the pitcher doesn't get it, give it to you. There's nothing you can do about it. If he makes his pitches up to 2 strikes, well, you've got to take him. But you would think Kelly, youngster coming up in the minor leagues, this really his first full year, would be looking for a fastball.
Shot, but Fielder knocks it down. Will they be able to make the play? Yes, what a play by Cecil Fielder at first base. The big guy, he just smothered that shot off the bat of Randy Velarde to save a run for the Tigers. Nice play by Fielder, but the Yankees do come up with 2 runs, highlighted by Mel Hall home run. And at the end of 1.5, the Yankees lead it 2-0.
Part by Hertz. We never forget who made us #1. We're Hertz. We're America's wheels. That's what they called me when I played, big boy. Wheels. They called me Wheels.
They called you Wheels because your brain going around
was
or what?
spinning around.
Spinning around?
Touche, very good. I didn't have too many infield hits in my day, I know that. I remember trying to get those butts that you laid down on me in Wrigley Field.
Yeah.
Swearing at you. Picking on an old man trying to make the play to first base.
Mickey Tettleton leads it off for the Tigers here at the bottom of the second. Tettleton, a switch hitter, turns around and bats left-handed against the right-hander Perez. Tettleton, Phillips, and Mark Carrion. Yankees lead it 2-0. That's up high. 2 balls and no strikes. Tettleton has done an outstanding job in the catching department and the hitting department for the Tigers. That's outside for a ball at high, 3-0. This youngster, I think, has been hurt quite a bit in his career. He's from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, as a matter of fact. I thought I'd get that in there. Last year, hit 31 home runs and drove in 89 runs for the Tigers. That's down low for a ball.
How many times did he strike out?
Well, he had his share of strikeouts, too. He had 131.
This ball club can hit some home runs. And they could strike out with Deere and Tettleton and Incaviglia and Fielder.
Oh, gee.
Man. But
Well,
they put
got
some
rid of-
points on the board, though.
Incaviglia's not here, so he won't
Yep.
be able to add to that this year.
And Lloyd Mosby.
Mosby's gone.
Those two guys share the outfielder in the position. They both of them struck out 135 times or so, something like that.
Tony Phillips, another switch hitter, a designated hitter tonight for the Tigers. Dick Trzaskowski down at third, flashing signs. Alex Grammas, who was with Sparky Anderson and the Tigers for so many years, is no longer here.
Was with him in Cincinnati, too.
Cincinnati,
they were
yeah.
together. That was one of the odd things in the winter. Them parting of the ways of those two. That really surprised me.
I never really knew what the reason
I
for
don't
that
either. I
was.
still don't know. And we may never find out either. They were like brothers,
Yeah.
those two. They were as thick as thieves, and Alex Grammas is not here anymore.
Right now, Perez has got to find the strike zone. He's got a 2-0 lead, and he's thrown 6 balls in a row. Tony Phillips, he's looking for his first base hit. He is he's a little bit dissatisfied with himself. Was thrown out of yesterday's ball game. Of course, when you're not hitting, you're 0 for 9. You get a little bit frustrated. You think those pitches right on the corner are not strikes. That's inside and low ball 3-3-0. So
It looks like he's trying to spot the ball and aim it, dropping the elbow. It looks like he's trying to aim the ball, Bobby. Exactly right. One of the things the young pitchers will do, and Perez is still young. He's only 26 years old, just in his 4th year in the big leagues. They'll lose confidence in that fastball. And this is a great park for a fastball pitcher. When you pitch on the left field side of home plate, you got a long way to hit the ball to hit it out of here. Phillips is not going to hit the ball out of here if you throw strikes on the outside part of the plate. And he has a good fastball. Melito Perez has an excellent fastball when he throws it. A lot of young pitchers, they'll get in trouble with their fastball a couple times, and then they'll refuse to throw it. They'll lose that confidence in it.
well, he's lost the confidence now because he's walked the first 2 batters here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. He's not even coming close to throwing a strike, and that brings Mark Connor out of the Yankee dugout to have a little chat with Perez. You can just see that he's aiming. I mean, he's not even rearing back and throwing like he's loose.
Oh, that elbow dropping down below the shoulder.
Well, that was the problem in Chicago, the inconsistency of Perez. He'll give you one inning look, and he'll make you look like he's going to win 20 games every year, and then the next thing you know, he can't find the plate.
You know, you said something earlier, Bobby. A little light bulb went off in my head. He said he's got 4 good pitches: fastball, curveball, slider, and split finger. Sometimes a young pitcher that throws hard doesn't need 4 pitches. You get a little bit over technical.
Mark Carrion, the batter, and that's up high for a ball, 1-0. Carrion traded to the Tigers from the New York Mets for a left-handed pitcher, Paul Gibson. Gibson did an outstanding job for the Tigers last year. I mean, he actually, I think, single-handedly saved this bullpen over here. First strike thrown by Perez in this inning. 1-1, and the Tigers, they weren't even going to think about swinging until he at least threw 1 strike. Tettleton down at second, and Tony Phillips on at first. Nobody out. Outside for a ball, 2-1.
Shades of Jeff Johnson last night. I'm not able to get the ball over the plate. Johnson was really very fortunate to escape with just a couple of runs that he gave up to the Red Sox. And he pitched himself into trouble. A couple of fine plays by Mattingly got him out of trouble.
Swing and a miss, strike 2, 2-2.
That's the same theory as last night. And that's exactly what Mark Connor was talking to him about when he went out there. You got to throw strikes. Let those other guys help you get out of trouble. They can't help you if you just keep walking.
Carrion, last 2 years for the New York Mets, batting .250, .260. 10 and 4 home runs, but Perez rears back and throws that one past Carrion, striking him out. There's one down here in the 2nd. Where did that come from?
Pretty good pitch. It looked like Carrion simply swung right through it.
He did. Look at that.
Ball ran in just a little bit. Didn't leave it in the middle of the plate. That ball ran to the inside corner. 41 degrees here at game time. I was off. I was off by 5 degrees. I guess with a wind chill, it's probably 36.
Probably at least 36.
46, maybe.
Yeah. That'll bring up Travis Fryman, the third baseman. Fryman with 1 RBI. For years and years, the Tigers looking for a third baseman. I think they finally found him. He was the Tigers' third selection in the 1987 draft. Last year hit .259 for the Tigers, 21 home runs and 91 RBIs. I think they tried everybody and the kitchen sink at third base the last 4 or 5 years for the Tigers. High and inside. Well, he did add to the strikeout total of the team last year, striking out 149 times.
It was a team effort, wasn't it?
It was a team effort.
He came up. He was going to take Alan Trammell's place. He was going to be the next shortstop. And Alan Trammell says, hold on here, not so fast.
This one off the end of the bat, a high fly ball into right field. Barfield with the beat on it, and there's 2 outs. The runners remain at first and second.
Mickey Tettleton in second base. Looking at Jesse Barfield and knowing the gun that he has, and there's no place to go. He wasn't more than 6 feet from second base when Jesse caught that ball. And he's motioning to Barfield now, but get the ball over there.
A speedster center fielder, Milt Kyler. Another switch hitter. 3 switch hitters in the lineup for the Tigers tonight. Off the end of the bat, this should get Perez out of it. Kelly up with it to Mattingly, and it looked like it was going to be disastrous for Melito Perez, but he pitches out of it, and at the end of 2, the Yankees lead it 2-0.
Just a moment to look at our classic quote tonight. I don't care if the team is up for sale. If you want to run a business, you've got to pay the price. You've got to put the coin in the slot. This is not a popcorn and candy business. And one of the tagline you could say is not a pizza business either, huh?
Well, it is right now, but it may not be much longer.
That quote by Lou Whitaker, who wants the Tigers to extend, I'm sure, enrich his contract. But you brought it up before, Bobby, about Tom Monahan, who has put this club up for sale. Talked about selling it, and a possibility of a new ballpark here in Detroit, whether it would be in the suburbs, whether they need it at all, whether this classic old place should be torn down. I love the old ballparks. I think this is a wonderful place. A lot of politics in it.
Yeah.
They've had one survey that said, well, it's not safe anymore, it has to be done. There was another survey done that says, no, this ballpark is in fine shape physically, it's fine, it's not falling down the way that Wrigley Field was, in fact, falling down in Chicago.
Top of the third inning, Don Mattingly leads it off for the Yankees. That pitch is down low for a ball. Mattingly bounced to the second baseman his first time up. The Tigers, they've had a policy here for many, many years that they do not negotiate contracts during the season. They've got some players that they're going to have to deal with, and Lou Whitaker happens to be one of them. Cecil Fielder will be one of them. And they have mentioned in the papers that there's a possibility that they might break that policy and try to get a couple of guys signed, especially Cecil Fielder. Mattingly just got underneath that one. High fly ball to center field. Tyler makes the catch, and there's one down. I don't know, Tom. You talk about building a new ballpark. You talk about selling a ball club, but you also got to think, if you're a buyer and looking at a franchise, you got to think, well, you know, if I pay the price now, what's going to happen in 1993 and 94? You know, with the players and the owners again, that's got to be settled before somebody comes in here. They're talking about the television rich money is not going to be there anymore. I mean, that's got to be a concern to a new buyer. So a lot of things that a new buyer would have to look at.
Certainly anybody that's going to ante up and pay $150 or $200 million or whatever it would take to buy a franchise like the Tigers. You talked about it last night about possibility of the Red Sox being for sale. That's got to be a hefty price tag. And what's condition is going to exist after 1993? One more year on the network contract, and a lot of people say yes, that kind of money is not going to be there. It's going to be reduced by a third. Well, that will significantly affect how the front office is operated and the salaries paid. A lot of salaries today are paid past that 1993 season.
2 balls and a strike to Roberto Kelly. One down here in the top of the third. The Yankees out in front 2-0. Roberto with that change of stance, I guess you would say, with his hands up a little bit higher than he had last year, but he's done an excellent job this year with that stance. Count now 3-1. Roberto is a good all-around player. He can play the outfield, he can run, he can hit for power, and he lines this one into center field for a base hit. He doesn't say much, he just goes out and does his job. They were talking about batting Roberto in the leadoff spot, finally ended up batting him third, and he has really responded.
I think he's going to do a fine job in that number 3 spot, Bobby. He is a fine, talented athlete. And they fiddled around with him last year, and he very well could have pouted and sulked and not wanted to play. They brought Bernie Williams, put Williams in center, moved Kelly out over to left field, and he is a fine athlete and a good center fielder. And paid his dues, and the youngster came along and they just handed him the job. But Kelly just kept on playing. I think they finally got it figured out that he's your center fielder, and he is a number 3 hitter. If you just leave him there, don't bounce him around. Don't hit him here in the lineup, hit him in there in the lineup, hit him back at first, drive him to 7th. Put him in third, and you're hitting third every day until you want a day off, and then you come let me know.
Well, a lot of guys know what their roles are today. Mel Hall knows what his role is. That ball hit the plate and gets away from Mickey Tettleton, so Kelly moves to second.
Talked about King, if he gets in trouble, to get that breaking ball down in the dirt. And that one just in behind the plate. Tettleton trying to reach out and stop it before it can take that awkward bounce high enough for Kelly easily to get the second base and 1 out.
Hall hit a monstrous home run back in the second inning leading off, put the Yankees out in front 1-0 in the right center field, about 430 feet away. On the inside corner for a called strike. Took a little bit off of it.
Pretty good changeup by King. Mel Hall.
Look
a
where Mel
fastball.
is.
Yep, he's way out.
On the front
Well, he
foot.
hit that fastball on the line right out of here for the first run for the Yanks. And King, a good pitch. That's one of the best pitches he's thrown all night.
Yeah. Eric saying, look, you know, I can't stand too many of those 425 30-foot home runs. Now just getting a piece of that one.
See, sometimes a hitter will tell you what kind of pitch they want to swing at. There was a fastball
He's
up
not geared
about
for a fastball,
just
is he?
about the brim of his hat, and he said, yeah, I'll heck at this one.
One ball, 2 strikes to Hall. Kelly down at second. Up the middle through the legs of Eric King once again. Kelly will come around to score. Hall picks up his second RBI, and the Yankees lead it 3-0. The second time that Eric King has let a ball go through his legs.
You mentioned it before, Bobby, in fielding position, and King just doesn't quite get on balance. He actually has his feet in the right position, but his body balance wasn't good, and he really genuflects. That's one of the most difficult plays, however, for a pitcher to make. That ball that's hit back of you talked about before, right back at you, and you really don't know how hard it's hit. And you reach for it, and sometimes it just is not there. By the time you do reach for it and it's not there, all of a sudden it's coming by and it's through your legs, and it's one of those judgments that's so very difficult. And the only way you make that play is to have excellent body balance after you deliver the ball.
Tarnabo, who walked back in the second, came around to score on a Hayes RBI single. So Danny officially not at bat yet, but has scored a run. And Eric King in for a called strike. 0-2 now to Tarnabo. Tarnabo with a lot of power to the opposite field. Of course, signed as a notable free agent for $25 million in 1992. Has yet to play in the field. That's up high for a ball, 1-2. Hampered by a sore wrist, which he hurt in spring training diving for a ball in the outfield. Boy, it was a who's who disabled list after the first day of the season in 1992. They were dropping like flies. I think this Cardinal Ball Club, I think they lost like 4 guys after the second day. 4 starters.
Did you read the team in the paper today? One of the locals papers had a disabled list team. It was like an all-star team.
I did read that.
Nolan Ryan, the pitcher, and Rob Dibble, the relief pitcher. And I mean, it was a pretty good ball club.
There goes the runner, and Tarnabo bounces it back to Luke Whitaker, who puts the tag on Mel Hall, but he's unable to complete the double play. It was one of those bang-bang plays, and of course you want to make the play at second base before you do anything else. And look at Lou. You can see him right there just waiting for the ball, but Mel Hall is right there. Whoop! And then he tries to run into Lou.
All legal. Mel Hall still on the baseline. Well, I don't know about the elbow may not have been legal, but
it's legal if you don't see it.
Anyway, it prohibited Whitaker from completing the double play.
Ball gets away from Tettleton, but Tarnabo cannot advance.
That's one of those situations. The runner at first can't see through the catcher, doesn't know exactly where the ball was.
Noakes with a base hit to right field, his first time up, so he's 1 for 1 in the ball game. 2 outs here in the top of the third. Yankees on top 3-0. Swing and a miss. Good off-speed pitch by Eric King.
What a great ballpark for Matt Noakes, huh? Here in Yankee Stadium.
Really.
Boy, oh boy. Of course, he played several years here with the Detroit Tigers. But I mean, with his swing, this is a perfect ballpark for him.
Cued off the end of the bat. This could be trouble. Travis Fryman, he hesitated. There'll be no play on Noakes at first. A base hit. It's not how hard you hit them sometimes, it's where you hit them when you come up with a base hit. So Matt 2 for 2 in the ball game. And that will bring up Jesse Barfield.
Travis Fryman in between. He actually came in, stopped as if he was going back to third. There wouldn't have been a play at third. Noakes, who does not run well at all, and had Fryman been very aggressive on that, he'd had a chance at Matt Noakes. That's a little bit of inexperience there.
I think he thought maybe King was going to make the play, and that's when he hesitated just for that half a second.
It looked like he was going back to third to defend against Tarnabo coming into third, but Danny, he wasn't even around second base yet.
Activity now in the Tiger bullpen. Barfield popped up on the infield his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. Ball 1 to Barfield. Well, you take a look at this Tiger Ball Club. They're still looking for their first win here in 1992. And basically the same type of ball club that they had last year, I think. Just missing low and outside. 2-0 to Barfield.
For a shaky pitching staff, they're going to score some runs because they're going to hit a lot of home runs.
They surprised a lot of people last year. Of course, they finished second, a record of 84 and 78, playing over 500, 7 games out of first.
Yeah, but they were right up in, Bobby,
right
you're exactly right up in the middle of August.
Line into left field. Gladden cannot come up with it. Tartamo around third. He'll score. They're going to hold notes up at third. And Jesse Barfield with another RBI. The Yankees now lead at 4-0. And they've come to play here at Tiger Stadium.
A ball up in the strike zone. Every time that the Yankees have teed off, it seems that the ball has been up. King has left it up and out over the plate, right where he's gotten in trouble. We mentioned before, hit fairly hard the last 2 times that he pitched in spring training, and the Yanks have really been pounding on him. Tettleton's going to go out and talk with him. Sparky Anderson trying to buy some time in this situation. The Yankees 4-0 now, and that ball hit by Jesse Barfield. He hit a rocket out there. Gladden in left field had no chance of catching up with it. A line drive, a couple of hops off that wall. That's 340 feet down that left field line. This is not a ballpark built for a right-handed power hitter. A left-handed power hitter, a lot different.
And your defense, they've been standing out there a long time. They don't like that, this cold weather. They begin to lose interest. It's just human nature. Here comes Sparky Anderson. This is probably going to be all for Eric King. Kevin Ritz is warming up for the Tigers. Charlie Hayes, the batter. First base is open. Slow walk out to the mound by Sparky.
Sparky's always been a great one to come out and do a little groundkeeping when he gets to the mound. You notice that?
Never steps on the white line.
Never steps on the white line.
He's got that little hippity hop as he gets over that white line. Yeah, that's going to be all for Eric King. Kevin Ritz will come on, and while the pitching change is being made, let's take time out along the Yankee Baseball Network for the following messages. Well, a new pitcher for the Tigers, Kevin Ritz, from Eatonstown, New Jersey. Youngster is 6'4", 220 pounds, and he's split the season between the Mud Hens and the Tigers last year. But the Tigers appeared in 11 ball games, so it's 0-3, and he comes on to face Charlie Hayes. Eric King started. The Yankees have clipped him for 4 runs. Yankees also have 2 of Eric King's runners on base right now, second and third. Yankees pounding King with 7 hits. That's a good stop by Mickey Tettleton. That saved a run right there. The count is 2-0.
He played for the Mud Hens, huh?
Played for the Mud Hens.
A lot of people don't know where the Mud Hens play, but you and I do.
They're just down the street there in Toledo.
Did you ever play in Toledo?
I sure did.
You sure?
It used to be a Yankee farm club.
About 1966 you played there.
That's correct. Oh, yeah.
Yes, you did.
Yes, sir, Tom Seymour.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I remember that.
Stan Bonson was on that ball club.
Let's see now, where were you?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Well, yeah.
Stan Bonson played for Toledo that year. Yep.
Stan the Man Bonson. Way out in front, and Charlie Hayes pops it up on the infield. This could be an adventure, but Fielder is there to take charge, and finally the Yankees are put out here in the top of the 3rd inning, but they do come up with 2 runs, and at the end of 3½, it's the Yankees 4 and the Tigers nothing.
A quick look at the Nobody Beats the Wiz scoreboard. Toronto got 2 in the bottom of the 9th to beat the Orioles, and the Blue Jays are 4-0 undefeated. Texas and Minnesota will be Witt against Tapani. Milwaukee, California will be Bones against Lewis. Kansas City, Seattle, Davis against DeLucia. And Chicago and Oakland, Fernandez against Tuzarski. Over to the National League, the Mets got shut out in their home opener 4-0. The Expos beat them. St. Louis 2, Chicago 1. That was in extra innings. Pittsburgh, Philadelphia. 1-0 Pittsburgh in the third inning. San Francisco, Atlanta. Atlanta got 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Cincinnati, Houston, and LA, San Diego later.
Van Grattan leads it off for the Tigers here in the bottom of the third. Hits this one sharply, but right at Charlie Hayes. Almost knocked Hayes down, but he stayed with it. Playing in on the grass, expecting that maybe Gladden may be bunting, but he stayed with it, and there's one down. That'll bring up Lou Whitaker. Those are not boos that you hear in the background. That's for Lou, Lou, Lou here at Tiger Stadium, and they have given him a lot of thrills. A lot of times I wish my name was Lou.
A lot of times you thought your name was Lou.
Yeah. Well, the Tigers are still looking for their first base hit of the ball game. Yankees have pounded out 7 base hits and 4 runs. Good pitch by Perez. 0-2 the count now to Whitaker. Fork ball lifted off the left side. It'll be out of play. The only reason I think that they're having so much trouble deciding what they're going to do with the ballpark, they just don't know where to put it. Some want it closer to downtown, others want it out towards Ann Arbor. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Whitaker. Most of the population in this area, about 4 or 5 million people, are around that Ann Arbor area, and they come downtown to watch the ball games here at Tiger Stadium.
Great place to watch a ball game. A lot of seats far away in center field, but still those back here behind home plate down the lines are really right on top of the field.
Did he go around? Yes, he did, said third base umpire Dale Ford. First strikeout, second strikeout that is, for Perez. There's 2 down here in the third.
Take a look from the center field camera. Did he or didn't he? And Dale Ford at third base, and yep, ring him up.
Well, if Mark Connor and the Yankees can tap that wealth of ability that Lito Perez has, it will be a big shot in the arm for the Yankee pitching staff. Alan Trammell 0 for 1 tonight. Out of play. Trammell is about as solid as they come at shortstop. A lot of numbers up on the board. Got power. This time, first base umpire Larry Barnett said no, he did not go around.
Not real flashy, but what you would call technically a very pure shortstop, I would think, Bobby.
Very pure.
Does things the way really you would want to see them on an instructional film.
You know, if you take a look at Travis Fryman and Alan Trammell, they sort of, you know, they run kind of alike, they kind of hit alike, and it looked a lot alike, and I think that's the reason a lot of people said, well, he may be the heir apparent to Alan Trammell. They have a lot of similarities. Of course, that'd be all right with the Tigers if they had the same type of similarities.
It'd be all right with Travis Fryman, too.
Yeah. Perez runs the count to 3-2 with 2 outs to Trammell here in the bottom of the third. Of course, Trammell has been bothered off and on now by injuries quite a bit in the last couple of years. Numbers fell down last year, batting only .248 and 9 home runs. All of a sudden, Al Clark just right in the middle of the swing. Of the delivery by Benito Perez. Alan Trammell looked like that possibly he hit the catcher's glove on his way back. You can see how he swings the bat back and forth. That's a timing process. That's down low, ball 4. So he was way out in front of Alan Trammell, but he loses him to a walk. That's number 4 of the night. And now to bring up, guess who? Cecil Fielder. Job by Melito Perez the last time Fielder came to the plate. He got him to ground out to the shortstop. Man on at first base, and Lou Whitaker. That pitch is down low for a ball. Ooh, big swing and a miss by Fielder. I felt the breeze up here. Just to give you some idea about the size of this guy. 6'3", 250 pounds. And that may be exaggerating just a little bit on the low side.
He said he lost 30 pounds going to spring training. Possibly 275 pounds at the end of last season.
Strike 2, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
He wants that one back, doesn't he?
Whew. No doubt he was looking for something.
You're looking for something else, that's right.
Wouldn't it be great to go to the plate every time knowing that you got a chance to hit the ball out of the ballpark?
Not only hit it out of the ballpark, got a chance to hit it 500, 600 feet.
Yeah. Just muscles it out into center field for a base hit. Trammell will go to third, and the Tigers have runners at first and third, with 2 out here in the bottom of the third.
It pays to be strong. This is a guy who can hit the ball 600 feet. And got jammed and just hit a little flare right past Randy Velarde. And the Tigers with a 2-out rally.
He got some bees in those hands. Got to bring up Mickey Tettleton, who walked back in the second. First hit for the Tigers in this ball game.
About the Tigers, Bobby, they can play catch up in a hurry. Ball club that will hit a lot of home runs. And they have that potential to play catch up, boy, in just a wink of an eye.
Swing and a miss, strike 1, 1-1. Tettleton's no small guy either. Tettleton is 6'2", 220 pounds. And there's no fat on Mickey Tettleton.
Ooh.
I mean, he is solid steel. That pine tar ruling, those batters, they just put the pine tar anywhere they want to on the bat now, don't they? They've got it way up above the trademark. I mean, used to, 10, 15 years ago, you wouldn't even put it that close to the trademark.
Not even close to that.
Out.
Oh, yeah.
Ever since that George Brett ruling at Yankee Stadium, guys have really been leading. What a great play by him, and Perez is there to take the throw. Mattingly saved at least 2 runs by that play. Well, that's the reason he wins the Gold Glove, and that's the reason everybody on the infield loves Don Mattingly playing first base. At the end of 4 innings of play, the Yankees lead it 4-0.
Innings has left 5 Tigers on base. Scooter, and he was saved by that Don Mattingly play, wasn't he?
Oh, I mean that's as good a play as you'd want to see in a clutch play like that, too. This would have gone down the corner, and 2 runs could have easily scored.
Well, the Yanks on top as we go to the top of the 4th inning. It'll be Pat Kelly, Randy Velarde, and Don Mattingly. against the second Tiger pitcher, and Kevin Ritz. The line on Eric King, he was a starter for the Tigers. 2 2/3 innings, 4 runs all earned on 7 hits. Didn't strike out anyone. And walked the hitter. Will that get in the gap? No. Carrion runs it down. So Pat Kelly still looking for his first base hit. Hit it hard, but Carrion ran it down for their first out here in the top of the 4th. Well, take a look at that Mattingly play again here, Scooter.
Boy. Well, watch this one. Now, it's a bad hop, too. Look, it's by him. He reaches out and almost falls down. Doesn't panic and takes his time. Makes a nice throw to Melito. You know, I want something, Tom. I didn't realize that Carrion had the glove on the right hand. If he doesn't have that glove on the right hand, he doesn't catch that ball at count. And he bats right-handed. That's unusual, isn't it?
A left-handed thrower and a right-hand hitter.
Yep.
There have not been very many of them in the big leagues. Cleon Jones was one.
That's right. He was.
And there were a couple more because I read that ages ago. I can't remember. There were a couple. There's not been very many. Randy Velarde. That ball ran right in on him there. And fouled it off for strike 1. Looked like it might have hit his fingers to begin with, Scooter, but no. Did get a few. Ooh.
Whoa.
He's glad it hit the bat, not the fingers, especially on this cold night. Velarde is 0 for 2.
You know, I heard you and Bobby talking about all the guys on the DL list. Is it a DL?
The disabled list, yeah, there have been a lot of them
I heard
early
that
in the season.
downstairs one of the reporters was saying there were 80 some odd on the disabled list right now. 80 something. That's hard to believe, isn't it?
No, not really. You divide it out. You know, that's maybe 3.5 per club.
Yeah.
And you've got some pitchers that are on long-term rehab, disabled list, et cetera. Yeah. And by that point, Bobby Mercer was making the 4 St. Louis Cardinals already got hurt.
Yeah. Yep. It's 2-on-1 play, I think. But you know, the thing that gets me, I wonder. I think they're doing too much exercise. I think. I mean, of course, we never exercised tonight.
Well, I noticed that you've cut your exercising down. 3 and 2 to Velarde fouls it off. You don't do nearly as much as you did the first year I got here. I used to come up in the booth and you'd be doing jumping jacks and toe touchers and some of those deep knee bends.
Yeah, baloney.
You did. I used to see you work out a lot. Now you kind of wear your Mother Teresa hat. You've got to lead a more sedentary life up here. I noticed that. 3 and 2 again to Velarde. Right by him, strike 3, 2 down.
Oh boy, good pitch to hit. A little late with the bat.
3 and 2 fastball right down Broadway, wasn't it? You used to hit those a long way, Scooter, didn't you?
Oh, yeah. Well, this was one of my favorite parks.
This had to be a great park for you, huh?
Man, I got 5 hits in one game here.
All that space in the outfield, you hit it between the outfielders, you run like a rabbit.
Oh, that's true. There's some parks you got a lot more room between the foul lines. Sounds strange.
2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Yanks on top, 4-0. Don Mattingly 0 for 2. Off the end of the back. Will Kyler get there? He makes the play. No, he does not. Looks like he got his glove on it, and they're going to play on Mattingly, and he's in there. Boy, some poor defense by the Tigers on that play. They had a chance at Mattingly, and Whitaker came off the base, and then Kyler made a weak throw to second base. Looked like he caught this to begin with, Scooter.
It did, yep. I never had it, that's right. That should be a base hit for Mattingly.
And look where Whitaker is. He came off the bat. They had a chance to get Mattingly there.
Dale Ford got spiked almost on that play.
It'll bring up Roberto Kelly, who is 1 for 2.
They give him a double on it?
I would think so.
I would think so, too.
Now, the scoreboard here in Detroit Where's the auxiliary scoreboard? They don't have the base hits. And the scoreboard in center field, which has the line score, they take off and they show the players' average and they run some of the scores in the American League. So you can't really tell. We can't tell until they put that line score back up. I wish they would have one of those up all the time. They really do. For the fans and everybody.
That's why we got John Moore here. Dandy little.
And as soon as he comes up with that information, he's going to pass it along to us, too.
He gave me the double sign, 2 fingers. You know, he is the executive producer, and director.
Scooter, we went over this last night.
Did?
Yeah. With the boss and stuff. You must have some heavy expenses.
Well, listen,
coming.
we're about 1,000 miles away, you know. The atmosphere is different. Did we go over? Well, that's right, we did, yeah.
One and 2 to Kelly as the Yanks trying to add on to their 4-0 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. Well, he kept his hands back well on that pitch. A good pitch from Ritz and just fouled it off to stay alive. Ritz, a product of Eatontown, New Jersey, 26 years old.
Down by the shore, huh?
Graduated from Davis County, Iowa High School. Went to junior college in Iowa. Strike 3, got it. No foul off. No, Alcock has his hand in the air and now calls him out. That no foul ball. Kept that hand up in the air. Yanks are gone here in the top of the 4th. They lead the Tigers 4-0.
Is brought to you in part by Ed Twiggins Private Stock. A paint so good you won't be disappointed. Oh, see me, you Huckleberry, my favorite pencil. He broke it in half. Unbelievable.
Tony Phillips leads it off for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 4th. I just want a little souvenir. I'm going to put this in my pocket because somewhere along the line this year, you're going to ask me if I got an extra pencil. And I'm going to pull the other half of that out of my pocket and give it to you. Take it home. I'm going to sharpen it. What country club is this from? On that outside corner, a pitch and a beauty. And it's a ball and a strike to Tony Phillips. He walked his first time up. He's still 0 for 9 on the season. Melito Perez has given the Tigers just 1 base hit. That is a Major League pop-up. Noakes and puts it away. 1 gone.
Well, he does an excellent job on it. Little trivia question here, Seaver. In 1991, Cecil Fielder became only the 3rd player in Major League history to lead both leagues in home runs and RBIs in consecutive seasons. Can you name the other 2? It's a tricky question, you know.
They'll bring up Mark Carrion, the Tiger right fielder who went down on strikes his first time up. Henry Aaron's going to be here on Sunday. Yanks, of course, back here tomorrow afternoon and Sunday. Aaron will be here to give Cecil Fielder the Henry Aaron Award. It's the Henry Aaron RBI Award, and he gives it to each player in each league that leads the league in RBIs.
Is it true?
Henry Aaron, one of my heroes, and I was growing up.
He interrupted right in the middle of his question. Steve jumped right in on it.
What was the question?
The question is, Hank Aaron hitting all those home runs, never hit 50 home runs in a year?
No, his high was 44.
No kidding. Oh, it sounds unbelievable, doesn't it?
That was a guess.
He was
that was a guess, too, by the way, 44.
That was a number on his back, I know.
I know. I think it was 44. Good pitch by Perez. And the count evens out at 2-2. The Tigers looking for their first victory. They lost 3 in a row to the Toronto Blue Jays. And the Yanks, of course, trying to go 3-0. Strike 3 got him. There's that slider and a beauty.
Second time he's got carry on.
And strikeout number 3 for Perez. Oh, fastball. Oh, I thought it was a slider. It was in such good location.
You know, it looked like it hopped. He's got
Yeah,
a few strikeouts.
some pop on that.
Yep.
Talking to Bobby about that before. Here's a kid that has a good fastball. I think somewhere along the line lost his confidence in it. It's a dandy.
I said, boy, tonight is fun. First I thought it was because of the cold weather. I said, don't throw any curves, throw all fastballs.
Travis Fryman with 2 outs. Check swing. They'll
He did swing.
check it first with Larry Barnett and ring it up. Yes, he did. Noakes coming out, reminding everybody 2 outs. Against the extra base hit in the outfield. All very deep in left. Kelly deep in center. There's the old 55-footer right there, Scooter.
Yeah.
That's why you were never a catcher, huh? You left it up to Yogi.
Oh, yeah, the tools of ignorance. I mean, that was it. They called him way back.
Joe Carter missed the game yesterday.
That's right.
Yep.
His consecutive game streak.
Yep.
And when you think of it, 507 and
Breaking ball got him. Tigers gone 1, 2, 3 here in the bottom of the 4th inning. A couple of strikeouts for Melito Perez. We go to the 5th. It'll be Hall, Tartabull, and Noakes for the Yanks. They lead it 4-0. Top of the 5th here at Tiger Stadium, 4-0 New York. And we'll take a look at some of the scores on our Wiz scoreboard as we go along. It'll be Hall, Tartabull, and Noakes here for the Yanks, as they lead it 4-0. Buck Showalter, youngest manager in baseball, trying to make his club 3 wins and no losses. One of the interesting things, Scooter, about this year in Major League, in the American League, excuse me, especially, breaking ball fouled off, and it's 0-2. The number of managers in the American League with less than a year's experience with their ball club this year.
that's right. There are quite a few.
Think about that. As our little Seaver Rizzuto trivia quiz here, how many can you come up with?
All right, well, let's see. Got the Red Sox and the Yankees for 2.
Yep, that's 2. This is all managers that were hired over the winter or are hired during the course of the season in 1991.
Let's see, Seattle.
There's one.
Cleveland.
Bill Plummer, Cleveland. Mike Hargrove was another one. That's right.
Let's see. So many teams in the American League that I...
Baltimore, Johnny Oates.
Johnny Oates.
Butch Hobson in Boston. Mike Hargrove in Cleveland.
We named those 2.
Right. Phil Garner in Milwaukee.
Oh, yeah, that's
Buck Showalter, of course, for the Yanks. Buck Rogers. They'll check at third. Yes, Dale Fortune. Yes, he did go. Oh, a strikeout for Ritz here, and Mel Hall can't believe it.
I don't believe it either. I mean, he went halfway, but I thought he stopped the bat.
Take a look at it again.
No, he stopped it. And no way he swung at that. Look at that.
Well, that man right there disagrees.
Yeah.
And you're out too, Scooter.
I know.
Excuse me. Danny Tartabull, who is 0 for 1. He walked and bounced into a fielder's choice.
Boy, I tell you, that Mel Hall is red hot too. That homer he hit deep. Right center
shot that he
field.
hit out of here, too.
And a single through the pitcher's legs.
Getting back to the manager, Scooter.
Oh, yes.
In the American League, California, Buck Rogers,
And
who was signed in August of '91 to manage the Angels. Of course, he managed for many years with Montreal. Has a hanging slider over everybody's head, and it's 3 balls and no strikes to Tartabull.
let's see, Kansas City, McRae.
Last year, absolutely, you're right. Chicago White Sox.
Oh, yes.
Gene
yes,
Lamont, new
yes,
manager of that
yeah.
ball club.
Wow, I said it.
Bill Plummer in Seattle, you talked about.
Yeah.
And the leftovers, if you will, the holdovers. Tardebo taken all the way, and it's 3-1. Bobby Valentine in Texas. Tony La Russa, of course, in Oakland. Went there in '86. Tom Kelly.
Minnesota, right?
Fouled off, and the count goes full 3-2.
That's it? Just those three?
And the other guy on the other side of the ballpark here tonight, opposite Buck Showalter. Sparky Anderson.
He's got to be the dean.
Since 1979, absolutely. He's been here with the Tigers after many successful years with the Cincinnati Reds. Right on the corner. And Tardebo knew it. 2 strikeouts, now 3 strikeouts in a row for Ritz. That one on the black. Not many people are going to hit this one, Scooter.
No. Nope.
So 4 strikeouts now for Ritz. He in relief of Eric King. He came in with 2 outs in the 3rd inning. Runners on 1st and 3rd, and got Charlie Hayes to pop up. Gave up a double to Mattingly in the 4th. A little ball that was not hit well to center field that Kyler could not catch up to. And a couple of strikeouts. It'll be Matt Noakes, who is 2 for 2 tonight. There's a breaking ball. Stays high and away, and it's 2-0. Noakes had a decent spring, hit 283 during spring training. Popped him up, and he'll be back over the top of our heads. Now, the Yanks in spring training were 17 and 14. They had a pretty good spring. Detroit was right at 500 ball. They were 15 and 15. Best record of spring training, the Cincinnati Reds were 22 and 9.
See, Lou got kicked out. Another
Base hit for Noakes. He's 3 for 3 on the night.
Oh, he hung that one right up there. High breaking pitch, didn't break much.
So Noakes with 3 singles, and the Yanks a base runner with 2 outs. I think he likes hitting in this ballpark.
Yeah. He couldn't believe the Tigers getting rid of him. He had that great year. What, he hit about close to 30 home runs?
Getting back to spring training, the Phillies had the worst record of spring training, Scooter. 9 and 19. And a couple of surprises. I was looking at this today.
Yeah.
Sitting in my hotel room. Montreal Expos were 20 and 12 in spring training. Very good.
They're not doing too badly at this time. They shut out the Mets.
Shut out the Mets today. That's exactly right. On the Mets opening day.
Wooden gave up only.
Oh, boy, is that a rocket.
He has hit 2 rockets.
Boy, if Fryman doesn't get his glove on that ball, that's going to be down in the corner, and Noakes would have had a chance to score.
Yep.
So 2 outs, all of a sudden 2 singles for the Yankees, and a rally here in the top of the 5th inning. Runners at 1st and 2nd and 2 outs. Second hit of the day for Jesse Barfield. Boy, and he has hit that ball right on the button the last 2 times he's been to the plate.
That's the way he was hitting him this spring. He had a great spring. Those were his first hits of this year.
Charlie Hayes, who is 1 for 2. Hayes had an RBI single in the 2nd inning. A ball that he drove right between the legs of starter Eric King for the Tigers. And Danny Tardebo raced home with a Yankees 2nd run. Popped it up. Right to Kyler in center field, and the Yanks are gone here in the 5th inning. A couple of base hits. They lead 2 after 4.5 here in Detroit. It's the Yankees 4, the Tigers nothing.
Baseball is brought to you in part by new Advanced Formula Mobile 1.
All right, Scooter, going to the bottom of the 5th inning. And Melito Perez in a very impressive outing so far. Talked about it the other night, about how the Yankees have got to have a #1 starter, somebody to really step up there and give them 250, 275 innings. Tyler pulls it inside the bag at first.
You see the way Mattingly was playing?
Mattingly was way over there, and
I can't believe that. I mean,
well, he may have been crossed up in the sense of
the pitch.
in a clubhouse meeting. They said we're going to play this pitch this guy away and play him away. And that ball in the inside part of the plate, and they've got the defense set up for a certain way to pitch against an individual. I don't particularly like it. I don't like big holes in the infield.
That was too big. He was not only playing way over, but way in.
Nonetheless, the second base hit for the Tigers. And it'll bring up Dan Gladden, the only other base hit. A Cecil Fielder single in the 3rd inning. Gladden is over 2. Start of the night at 231 has dropped to 200. Boy, your average can jump around the first couple of weeks of the season. Good night or a bad night. Talking about Joe Carter missing that game the other day, 507. He wasn't really close to Cal Ripken.
No.
Ripken at 1,576. He played today, so it's 577 if he was in the game today up in Toronto. Off the end of the bat. Not hit hard. But enough to get it by Randy Velarde, and the Tigers are on the board, 4-1. An RBI single for Dan Gladden.
Didn't hit it hard at all, just a perfect spot.
It looked like another big hole in the infield to me, Scooter.
Yeah. I guess that meeting, they worked during the first 4 innings, but this inning they're crossing up the defense.
It'll bring up Lou Whitaker. Another base hit. And there's no defense against that one.
Nope.
Inside out. Little line drive to left field. So 3 base hits in a row for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 5th. A double by Kyler. And back-to-back singles by Gladden and Whitaker.
They're going to start throwing a little off-speed pitch on that first pitch they're serving up there.
Coming down the middle of the lineup, too. And Alan Trammell, the hitter. And Cecil Fielder in the on-deck circle. Fielder has been up with men on base the first 2 times that he has been to the plate.
Well, this guy can bunt, too. They better...
Trammell 0 for 1. He walked in the 3rd inning. Perez has walked 4 Tigers here tonight and has 4 strikeouts. A ball and a strike. Dick Tracewski down to 3rd. The 3rd base coach flashing signs to Gladden, who's the base runner at 2nd. And Whitaker at 1st. Up and away, ball 2. Base hit. And Gladden score. Kelly loses the ball momentarily, but no advance by the base runners. No harm, no foul, but it's 4-2 New York. The Tigers have cut the Yankee lead in half. 4 consecutive base hits for the Tigers here in the 5th.
Oh, there's got to be some stirring around in the bullpen pretty soon.
Here comes Mark Connor out of the Yankee dugout.
Kelly bobbled that ball, but Whitaker had already stopped and started back to second. If he had kept going just a little bit, he'd have made it easy. Well, while Mark Connor's out there trying to settle Melito down, here's the answer to the trivia question. Remember, in 1991, Cecil Fielder became only the 3rd player in Major League history to lead in both leagues in home runs and RBIs in consecutive seasons. Can you name the other 2? Well, we should know. Babe Ruth in 1920 and 21, and Jimmy Fox in 32 and 33. But that's double X. You're a little young, John Moore. Oh, boy, Seaver noticed that right away.
Les Lancaster starts to get loose for the Tigers down in their bullpen. And John Havian getting it loose for the Yanks. Well, how many times do you dodge a bullet?
Yeah. Oh, he got away with one there.
Cecil Fielder in the 1st inning came up with Whitaker on base and bounced to shortstop. And then again in the 3rd inning, and Trammell was on base and singled to left field. Good pitch by Perez right there. Got to pitch him inside.
You got it, you really
Any
do.
big hitter, you got to pitch him inside. Don't let him extend those arms. He's had a couple of good swings tonight. Fielder, 4 hits on the season. 3 of them have been home runs.
What a quick little slide of that one.
Off-speed pitching and a beauty,
Yeah.
too. Totally fooled him. Fielder, of course, back-to-back fantastic years.
Very, very upset in that article in the New York Times with a picture on it. He wasn't picked for MVP one of those 2 years. Oh, he hung that one. He was lucky to get away with that.
Fielder, the last 2 years, has hit 95 home runs and driven in 165 runs. 265 runs. I was only off by 100.
And I agreed, too. That's
265 runs, excuse me. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Lito might have wanted that one.
A couple of runs in for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 5th. 2 men on, nobody out. Whitaker at second, Trammell at first. And Melito Perez in a pile of trouble here. Could be 2. Velarde, Kelly, and they double it up. Boy, talk about the pitcher's friend and when you need it.
Yep.
That's a 6-4-3, and that a big couple of outs right there, especially when you consider that Fielder has been up with 4 men on base so far in this ball game. It'll bring on Mickey Tettleton. Tettleton is 0 for 1. He was robbed by Don Mattingly in the 3rd inning. Score, and it's a 4-3 ball game.
Have to wait and see. Is that a pass ball or a wild pitch?
Well, a 4-3 ball game now. 3 runs in the inning for the Detroit Tigers.
I think that was a pass ball, Tom. It certainly
I would think so. Hit his glove.
Yeah, he just said pass ball. Yep.
Was not in the dirt. The base is now empty. We had 3 runs in here for Detroit. Tigers come up with 3 runs. We go to the 6th. It's 4-3 Yankees.
7 and 15, who are crazy about baseball. You owe it to them, New York Yankees youth baseball camp.
Just let former Yankees Joe Pepitone, Mike Torres, Hector Lopez, and Phil Linz help your child improve their hitting, pitching, and fielding skills. For more information and a free brochure, call the Yankees Youth Baseball Camp at 1-800-666-1002. That's 1-800-666-1002. I heard that harmonica in the background there. That was a riot.
That was Rizzuto.
No.
I mean, that was Mercer. Playing a harmonica in Rizzuto's ear.
No, but that was one of the few times I was on a bus with the rest of the team. Normally they wouldn't let me on. And Yogi really blew his stack.
Pat Kelly leads it off for the Yanks here in the top of the 6th inning. With Kelly, Velarde, and Mattingly.
You know, Steve, last night I happened to mention about Steve Palermo. I'm wondering how he was. And I got this phone call from John Dunn, who has a lot to do with the Bronx Zoo, and whose brother was, rather his father was a police officer outside the Yankee Stadium. Anyway, I know I tell terrible stories and take too long. But anyway, he says in regards to Steve Palermo, we're going to honor him at Yankee Stadium on April 14th. There will be a write-up in the New York Times in connection with the award.
Well, there is a courageous fight right there by a courageous man, and he has vowed that he will be back umpiring in the major leagues.
Oh, he is working
And
hard.
they said when he first was hurt, shot in that accident, what do you call it? Not an accident. He was trying to help somebody down in Texas, and they said he would never walk again. One of the best umpires in all of baseball. He has gone through a tremendous rehab.
There's got to be something wrong. On April 14th, the Yankees will be in Toronto. I'll have to call Mr. Dunn, who usually is very efficient with his dates. John Moore, the old Eagle Eye, came up with that one. He loves to prove me wrong. All 3 of them do. Forget it, I'm not coming up with anything. Just the facts.
Full count on Pat Kelly.
You sure about this?
And he gets a base on balls. Les Lancaster, the new pitcher for the Detroit Tigers.
Speaking of Lancaster, Dolly Kaminsky is having a birthday. Happy birthday. She's a...
What kind of segue was that?
I don't know. It was terrible, but...
Speaking of Lank, I'm going to see if this kid was born in Lancaster, California. Randy Velarde, we'll see if Buck Showalter does something here.
Oh.
Velarde is 0 for 3. Cecil Fielder robbed him of a base hit in the 2nd inning. Buck Showalter passing the signs down to Clete Boyer, who's passing them back to Randy Velarde. Showalter has shown that he will play an aggressive brand of baseball. Good speed. Kelly at first. Big hole between Fielder and Lou Whitaker at second base. The Pirates, excuse me, not the Pirates, the Tigers cut the Yankees lead down to 1 as they scored 3 runs in the bottom of the 5th inning.
Real quick move that kid's got.
Pitching out. See if something on. Sparky putting the pitch out on a strike and no balls. Lancaster made his second appearance for the Tigers last Wednesday. Pitched an inning. Gave up a couple hits and a run. He was signed by the Tigers on April 3rd. And he was released by the Cubs. There goes Kelly. Hit and run's going to work, and they get the runner to second. Oh, they got a guy shot at him. Yeah, they get him. Kelly way around second base, and a heads-up play by Cecil Fielder and Lou Whitaker. And a rookie mistake right there.
Boy, that was a mistake. Once you make up your mind, you got to go, but... Fielder really got rid of that ball in a hurry.
Would he anticipate that? Cecil Fielder, you see him come off that bag. He's exactly right. So the Yanks with a golden opportunity, a leadoff walk to Pat Kelly, and all of a sudden, 2 outs and nobody on. First baseman, a double his last time up. He's 1 for 3 tonight.
This should get Mattingly started on his home run swing for the year right here in this park.
I haven't really seen him sting the ball yet,
no,
Scooter.
Not to right field either.
Hit 1 ball foul the other night at Yankee Stadium and hit it hard. Still don't understand it.
No.
Why with 2 outs, 3-0? Why you take
green light
in this ballpark?
Yeah.
2 outs, nobody on. Mattingly a base on balls with 2 outs.
We have something in Yankee history here, Seaver. Toyota presents on this date in Yankee history. April 10th, 1962, the Yankees defeat Baltimore 7-6 on opening day at the stadium. Ralph Cherry gets the win in relief of Whitey Ford. Mickey Mantle hits his 375th career home run.
It'll bring up Roberto Kelly with 2 outs and Mattingly on first.
Well, it was not really very historic. I mean,
excuse me? Were you talking to me?
no, I was talking to Moy. He handed me this thing. A date in history. Only 375 home runs.
Slider on the outside corner. And quickly 0-2 to Kelly. Kelly off to a good start. He is 1 for 3 here tonight. He had a good spring. Hit about 340 in spring training. Nice play by Tettleton behind the plate. First. Sprineman gets it, and the Yanks are gone. Here in the top of the 6th inning, they leave a man. We go to the bottom of the 6th. The Yanks up by a run, 4-3.
Baseball is brought to you in part by John Deere Lawn Care Dealers. Stop by your local dealer to see why nothing runs like a deer. Oh, you know who'd look good on top of one of those tractors? Tom Seaver.
Yes, sir.
The land baron up in Connecticcut. He's got a lot
tractors or riding lawnmower?
Riding lawnmower.
Very
a
good.
lot better.
With the large 18 horsepower engine?
Oh, yes. Little extra wide seat for the big rump.
Now, we're not the only one with the white seat.
No,
now.
I know it.
slid a little bit too hard in your day on at second base a couple of times, flattened it out, you know.
No, but I know you do a lot of work. You got a truck and you work on your...
Oh, sure.
You got that, what is it, a lawn tractor? No, what is it?
Riding lawnmower?
Riding lawnmower. Would help you stay away from getting Lyme disease.
Yes, it would, wouldn't it?
It certainly would. Even the...
It'd chew all those ticks up, wouldn't it?
Yep.
Tony Phillips, Mark Carrion, and Travis Fryman for the Tigers here in the bottom of the 6th inning as they trail the Yanks by a run. They touch Melito Perez up for a 3 spot in the 5th inning. On 4 consecutive base hits. Boy, a big out. Runners at first and second. Nobody out, and Perez got Cecil Fielder to bounce into a double play. They could have had a huge inning. Middle of the lineup up, nobody out, a couple of men on. 3-1 to Phillips. And he loses him. A leadoff walk for the Tigers here in the 6th.
Well, the fans speak out. A reminder, fans, each month we will pose a question dealing with a topical baseball subject and allow you to respond. This month's question: should the DH be eliminated from Major League Baseball? No! Send your response to the Fans Speak Out, WPIX TV, 220 East 42nd Street, New York, New York, 10017. Results will be posted at the end of April, and the best arguments will be read on the air.
John, excuse me,
I was
Scooter.
going to say, Fay Vincent wants to do away with the DH. White wants to do away with the DH.
On the outside corner, John Havian getting loose for the Yanks.
If they do away with the DH, they're going to do away with a lot of old-timers just hanging by a thread because of the DH.
Carrion has been up twice and struck out both times. Right through that one. And it's 0-2. Here's a splitter, a 55-footer, and a nice play by Matt Noakes. Tony Phillips getting his signs from Dick Trzaskowski, the third base coach. Visiting with Don Mattingly. Phillips, of course, came over last year, 2 years ago, excuse me, from Oakland. Had a good year last year for the Tigers. Not really a base stealing threat. He'll try it once in a while. Had 10 last year.
You know, he's been...
19 the year before.
Excuse me, Frederick, but he's been talking a lot about wanting to play down in Miami with the new National League team that's going to be there next year. He's trying to make plans.
Splitter again. And another nice play by Noakes. Dick Trzaskowski checking with Sparky, passing along the messages. We talked about it before. Alex Kramas no longer here as the third base coach. Phillips does not go, and fouled off by Carrion. Oh, the hitter that's punched out a couple of times already.
Movie
Oh,
Smith
what?
plays.
Yeah, you don't know whether he'd be putting on the hit and run with the guy that hasn't made a whole lot of contact here tonight. You might start your runner if it's 3-2. Phillips does not go. Right for it again. And carry on is 3 for 3, 3 strikeouts.
That was a weak swing right there.
Strikeout number 5 for Melito Perez. He even tried to cut his swing down on that.
No, he didn't
make contact.
No.
It'll bring up Travis Fryman. So a leadoff walk to Tony Phillips by Perez, but he comes back to strike out and carry on the 2-2 fastball up and out over the plate. There's a slider and a beauty. Fryman just 22 years old. Kentucky. Popped him up. Let's say in play from Mattingly. Yep, looks like it. And there are 2 gone. Fabian is still up in the Yankee bullpen, although he's kind of stopped throwing. The leadoff walk given up by Perez, and he started to get loose rather quickly down there. But Perez has come back to strike Carrion out and get Fryman to pop out. Yanks lead at 4-3. We're in the bottom of the 6th inning here in Detroit. Phillips still does not go. I don't think he'd go here. I don't think they want to close that hole for Lou Whitaker, or excuse me, for Kyler. They have players on this stuff that look like.
They do.
In their mannerisms.
Bill.
Kyler and Whitaker.
Yeah.
And Travis Fryman and Trammell. They're almost like mirror images of each other. Two pretty good guys to pattern yourself after.
Not too bad. Yep. That's got to be a record, I would think, that as long as Whitaker and Trammell have been together in the big leagues. 15 years.
Since 1978.
It is a record. Dandy little director said it's a record.
You can't slip anything by him.
No, John Moore is... Plus, he's planning a wedding here. To concentrate on anything else. Oh, he's got no why. He's got a lot of time. He's not directing today.
2 balls and no strikes to Kyler.
I was going to ask him what he's doing up here.
Scooter, he's still the boss.
I know he is. That's...
Up and away, ball 3. That wasn't even close. And Dan Gladden in the on-deck circle.
This could be the last pitch for Alito.
Alito has walked 5 tonight. Struck out 5.
But it's cold here. It's got to be in the 30s. When the game started, it was 41 degrees.
My favorite number, Scooter.
Oh.
Ball 4. And runners at first and second with 2 outs. Walk number 6 by Melito Perez. And Buck Showalter has seen enough. He's already motioned for the bullpen. John Avian is loose. Early in the season, your pitchers, especially young pitchers, will be on a pitch count. Yes. That might have something to do with it. 6 base on balls, that will have something to do with it. And also, you don't want to get a young pitcher into the situation where he might lose it. He's still got a chance to win this one here.
Right, and the cold weather, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, a pitching change here in Detroit. And while Buck Showalter changes his pitchers, we'll take time out along the Yankee Baseball Network.
He ad-libbed that, you know.
These are my new shoes from Converse. They're so...
John Habian on relief of Melito Perez. And Perez leaves on the top side of a 4-3 ball game. A couple outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. John Habian pitched in Tuesday's ball game against the Red Sox. Boy, he had some spring, I'll tell you that. He allowed just 1 run all spring training. And did not allow a run over his last 11 innings. Popped him up. Mel Hall should get there, and 1 pitch and he's out of it. Maybe it does it again. The Tigers leave a couple of runners after 6 here at Tiger Stadium in Detroit. It's the Yankees 4 and the Tigers 3.
Game recap is brought to you by Budweiser. Mel Hall had a solo home run at the top of the 2nd inning, and then another single to drive in another run. Jesse Barfield had an RBI double in the 3rd. Melito Perez had 5 strikeouts, but he came up with 6 walks and was a little bit of trouble in 1 inning. And he did all that in 5 2/3 innings. So the Yankees are leading 4-3. Bobby Mercer has rejoined us. And here's Mel Hall. Takes the ball. Tough to get loose tonight, Mercer.
It's tough to get loose, you bet.
You hear anything about the Masters? Golf, I didn't hear.
No.
Back upstairs. Boy, they're having beautiful weather down there. They tore that course apart yesterday.
Oh, yes. The players said if you're going to shoot a low score, yesterday was the day that they did it.
Top of the 7th, 4-3, Yankees leading. Off-speed pitch.
Well, at least Bell is going up there swinging this time. Last time he got called out on strikes. He didn't think that he went around, but third base umpire Ford said, yes, you did. And on a night like this, the umpires, if they're standing out there very long, if it's close, they're going to be raising that right hand.
You better be swinging. You're right. All right, Les Lancaster, the 3rd Tiger pitcher of the night.
Well, so much for that.
Yeah. He's not too cold, the plate umpire. Two and two on Hall. Oh, did he got that? And almost pinned him to the wall. Boy, he went down and got it and really hit a bullet. 1 man out.
Mel hit a tremendous home run back in the 2nd inning out into right center field. Plenty of extension on that. The ball was down and in, and he turned on it.
He really did. Mr. Herder's talking about the Masters because he really had a good golf swing at that. Strike 1. Danny Tartable. Danny has walked, bounced to 2nd, and struck out.
You know, I heard you talking earlier about being on the bus a long time ago. I finally rode a bus today.
Did you?
First time in 2 years. I tell you what, it's different. Yes, it really is. 12 guys had a telephone on the bus.
No.
12 guys had a telephone, their own telephone on the bus, and I got to looking. I couldn't believe it. You know, and I got to looking around. 3 guys had a fax machine. And they were buying and trading stock. I mean, it was the darndest thing. It was like being on the exchange. It was the darndest thing I have ever seen in my life. Yeah, oh, yeah.
In the old days, remember Tiant, Catfish Hunter, all those guys, they'd be telling jokes and getting on each other.
Oh, sure. That was the fun of riding the bus, was being able to be with your teammates and talk about, well, nice swing you had tonight, big guy. Yeah, if you'd have caught the ball, we'd have won the ball game. Thanks a lot for losing it for us. Stuff like that.
3-2 now. How do you like that? Well, it's a new breed, a new wave.
I'm not saying that's bad because
No.
I made 5,000. I bought 10,000 shares of one stock and sold it. I bought it right when we got on the bus at the Ritz and then sold it before we got here. Good
story, Mercer. I like it. Still 3-2 on Tarnable. 1 out in the top of the 7th. The Yankees leading 4-3. Ball 4. Tarnable walks. On April 3rd, I was supposed to wish happy birthday to Joe Grippo, youngster out in Long Island, and I butchered him. So, belated happy birthday, Joe.
Well, tomorrow, April the 11th at 1:15, Yankees at Detroit on MSG. Also on Sunday, April the 12th at 1:30, Yankees at Detroit on MSG. And then Monday, the Yankees will be... Go ahead, Scooter. I know that's Matt Noakes, so this is an important at bat.
It is, but he missed the buzz. He missed it. Go ahead, finish.
Are the Yankees here in Detroit? I thought they were in
No, they're
Toronto.
in Toronto.
Yeah, I thought they were in Toronto. It says Monday, April 13th, but they're in Toronto, April the 13th. That game also will be on MSG, but we'll be back on the air on Tuesday in Toronto at 7:30.
Right. Foul back. That settles him.
Now, that's the long-range forecast,
Okay.
you know, telecast, I mean, and forecast, too.
You can forecast the weather because we'll be in the dome, so up in Toronto.
They're talking about some kind of a real cold front coming. I don't know how much colder it could get, you know.
Here?
Yeah, coming in on Sunday afternoon, as a matter of fact.
Well, we won't be here.
No, but we'll be in Toronto, you know, on Tuesday if it hangs around. And we won't have to
Would you
worry
be
about it
inside?
because the sky doesn't. You're right. But flying up there, you know, it'll be cold flying
That's
up there.
right. Right. One ball, 2 strikes.
Well, this is, I think, typical on a night like this. The pitchers, they've had problems finding the strike zone and being a cold night. Tom and I talked about it earlier in the telecast. It's hard to really get a good feel, a good grip of the ball.
Let's pause 10 seconds along the Yankee Baseball Network for station identification. Noakes, who is 3 for 3, hit 2 balls well and 1 off the end of the bat. Probably the only time you'll ever see Matt Noakes beat out an infield hit. Little dribbler down the third base line. Low, 2-2.
Two of the sports I can think of immediately is golf and baseball. You play those 2 games by the feel in your hands.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Did he get enough of it? Nope. Carry-on's going to make the catch.
Yeah, he got Scooter. He got Noakes just in front a bit. He was out on his front foot. He hit it on the end of the bat. He was mad at himself.
Yeah,
if he'd have waited just another 1/10 of a second on that ball, he would have hit it out of the ballpark. The reason they call it a game of inches, it's a game of inches on hitting. Eric King mixed a couple of balls that went through his legs. It cost him 2 runs. If he'd have gotten down a little bit sooner, another inch or 2, he'd have saved probably a couple more runs, and they would have been ahead.
Ooh, all of a sudden, the flags are really whipping, Mercer. Look at them.
They've been forecasting some heavy thunder showers in here later on this evening. They may begin to move in.
Wow, it really did pick up. Barfield has picked up 2. He's hit 2 shots tonight. A double and a single. 1 RBI.
Well, a guy that can handle all the trade talk is Jesse Barfield. I mean, he's a class act all the way, on or off the field. There's been a lot of talk about Jesse leaving the Yankees. But I'll tell you what, he comes to play all the time.
Yep.
And he plays hard and he plays well.
He's got the stroke, I mean, and then he's a complete ball player. end of 6½. It's the Yankees 4 and the Tigers 3. Whitaker is up there. He is 1 for 2 for the night, and the count is even at 1-1. Walk, struck out, single, and scored a run.
Tough part of the order coming up now, Scooter, with Whitaker and Trammell and Cecil Fielder.
Yeah, they got to get Whitaker out of there, not put him on, because Trammell can do a lot with the bat. Fielder can hit him 9 miles.
The Tiger Ball Club, they can look so bad for 8 innings, and man, they can put a lot of runs on the board in 1 inning.
Yes, they can.
1 at bat, anyway. Got that potential. One swing of a bat to knock in 2 to 3 or 4 runs.
Remember the years, he had a couple of years where he hit a lot of home runs. When he first came up, he didn't hit with power. Trammell the same way. They were line drive hitters. Bohabian now.
Whitaker's hit 190 home runs career here at Tiger Stadium. Hit 23 last year. His best year with the Tigers was 28 home runs back in 1989.
When he first started, he didn't hit one, right?
No, he started back in 1978 was his first full year, hit 3 home runs. And never really started hitting home runs until he hit 15 back in 1982.
And then all of a sudden, I guess he got stronger. And all right, 3-2. There's that wind getting Old Glory straight out there. Oh, he lost him way outside. Way outside.
Well, tickets for all Yankee home games are on sale at the Stadium Advanced Ticket Window, open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, and Sunday, 10 to 5. You can also get tickets at the Yankee Clubhouse store and at all Ticketmaster outlets, including all Soundorama stores. Get your tickets. The Yankees are coming in 1992.
All right, Trammell. Now, this told you he can really handle that bat. Yankees leading by just 1 run. Good hit and run man, good bunter.
Something that you don't see very often from John Habian is the fact that he falls behind a hitter and walks him.
Yeah, that's right.
Habian always around the plate with the ball.
There goes Whitaker. He had a good jump in there. He was going to hit and run down the right field line. Break for the Yankees there. He had the pitch he could handle, Bobby.
Nothing new for these two guys.
No.
I mean, they've been working on this for years and years and years. Did you see Whitaker? Excuse me. Did you see Trammell the way he tucked his his back foot back to try to hit the ball the opposite field?
It was great to watch. That was really. Watch this.
Watch this back foot.
Yeah, look at that. Slid it back and sliced it just a little late.
You don't even have to give these two guys signs. They know when they need to hit and run or bunt or whatever. They're playing together for so long, and they've got a lot of savvy around the baseball diamond.
Let's see if he bunts now. They gave him one chance to hit and run. Trammell hitting .250 for this young season. Quick move, but Whitaker gets back. Whoa! Boy, you don't want to hit him there. You want to put first and second with nobody out.
This is about as close as you can come without getting hit. That ball just kept riding in and in on Trammell.
Now, if it was the old Crow, Frank Cressetti, with the way he'd bloused that shirt out, he'd have got just ticked on it.
Or how about Hunt?
Oh,
He'd have been hit for sure, right?
Yep.
Well, one thing for sure, too, is the fact that it looks like Alan Trammell's back's all right because you get back out of the way
Not
like he
that
did
quick.
without a good, healthy back.
1-1 the count. Again. Well, the cold weather could be having an effect. Like Bobby said, you're gripping that ball. You don't get that good feel.
Mattingly will come in just to try to break up the momentum.
Keep blowing on that handle as long as the umpires let you do it when it's cold.
Well, all the pitchers have had problems finding the strike zone.
Yeah.
They've been wild. They've had an inning or two where they've been around the plate.
Oh, man. I mean, this is very unusual. 3 balls, 1 strike. Walk Whitaker.
Habian last year gave up 20 walks on 90 innings pitched.
And this, it could be a double play. Nope. He got him. Good play by Kelly, keeping his foot on the bag. Velarde gives him a good throw. They had a shot for the double play. A little big out.
A little slow roller, and Velarde could not get enough on the ball to get it to Kelly in time to make the double play. But you got to make sure of the one, obviously. That's what the Yankees did.
Mattingly gave Habian some, looked like a little packet of rosin that he can keep in his back pocket.
Well, he also wanted to tell Habian, hey, you know, you got to keep an eye on Trammell. I mean, he's very sneaky over there. He's got deceptive speed.
Oh, man, it stays in the park. What a break for the Yankees. Oh, I tell you, Noakes is unbelievable. He's great on those high pops.
but either Mattingly or Charlie Hayes should have called Noakes off of that play right there. It was either Mattingly's play or Hayes' play, and Hayes should have called Noakes off all the way on that play. It's much easier for him to come in and make that catch than it is for Matt Noakes to make it. I mean, a major league fly ball by Cecil Fielder, and it's up and the wind is swirling and whipping around here. You can see how difficult it is for Matt Noakes just to pick it up.
Sure, and he started away in foul territory. He ended up 1/3 of the way down to third baseline. All right, 2 out now, and Tettleton the batter. Again, they'll have to watch Trammell. Ooh. Great one.
Trammell will probably give Mickey Tettleton at least 2 strikes, and I don't even know if Trammell is healthy enough to try to steal a base. You got to be careful with him because he may even try the delayed steal with the left-handed batter up there. That'd probably be his best bet.
Strike 2.
Tettleton, with 1 swing of the bat, obviously could make it a lead for the Detroit Tigers. But now with 2 strikes, you may want to try to take a chance.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
Very few players use that double steal for some reason or another. That's an easy way to steal a base.
You mean a delayed steal?
Delayed steal,
yes. I know you used to do it. Did it very well. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Tettleton. 2 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Yankees leading 4-3. Mattingly holding the bag. Oh, he was going. Oh, man. Almost got him. He was definitely going to go on that one. You can see him leaning and just did get back.
I mean, if you were going to run on the delayed steal, you do. I would have done it with 1 strike because you do it with the element of surprise. That's how you do it. And you actually steal on the infielder.
Yeah, they turn automatically. They put their head down or turn back.
Randy Velarde, look how deep he's playing at shortstop.
And you can beat him to the bag.
Of course, Kelly is not even in the play right now. And you can get a pretty good jump on the delayed steal.
There goes Trammell. Struck him out. Oh, boy. What a big inning that was. What a comeback for Habian. So, at the end of 7 full innings, it's the Yankees 4 and the Tigers 3.
Well, while we have some time, let's take a look at the Wiz scoreboard in the American League. Toronto. Now, they're perfect this year. They come up with a couple of runs at the bottom of the ninth inning to beat Baltimore 4-3. Minnesota is leading Texas 3-1 at the end of 5.5. They're playing in Minnesota. I tell you, that Minnesota Twins, they come up with quality players every year.
Yep.
If they lose something that's like a Jack Morris and they somehow come up with a trade for a John Steinley, you got to watch out for Minnesota. They've got to be a favorite over there in the Western Division. In the American League, in the National League, Montreal 4-0 as they shut out the Mets opening day at Shea Stadium this afternoon. St. Louis 2-1 over Chicago in extra innings. Game 111 at Wrigley.
Charlie Hayes, the batter.
Pittsburgh leading Philadelphia 3-2. The bottom of the ninth with Philadelphia batting.
And in the hole, that'll be a base hit. Oh, yes. Now, if that ball didn't hit Hayes in the foot, it would have gone in and he'd been able to get to second base. It's a base hit, though, for Charlie Hayes.
For a 250-pounder at first base, I'll tell you what, Cecil Fielder, he's got some moves over there.
He does.
I didn't think that Trammell had a prayer even coming close to throwing out Charlie Hayes, and they almost get him right there. I mean, he tagged him, and he just couldn't hold on to the ball.
Oh.
It was one of those slap tags.
Yeah. All right, a base hit for Hayes. And now the batter, Pat Kelly. And the Yankees got to do a little either hit and run or bunting here. They need some insurance. Oh, he did that before with a runner on third and one out. Popped it up. Oh, that wind is... We told you about the flags blowing, and you saw what happened on the last two pop-ups. One man out. Now Randy Velarde. Randy's gone for the collar tonight, 0 for 4. Top of the 8th. And, oh, he bobbled it. Safe, everybody's safe. That's very unusual for Trammell, who is so sure-handed. Let's see what they give him on that one.
I think that's got to be an error. Don't you?
It should be, but on a night like this...
He hits the ball hard, but Allen is right there, and he just couldn't come up with it. It ran right up his arm. They gave him an error,
right? He's 6. Yeah. You're right, Mercer. As usual. All right, runners at first and second, one man out. Mattingly is 1 for 3 on the night. Strike one.
For a guy who was released by the Chicago Cubs, he throws pretty good.
Really?
I was talking to Sparky before today's ball game. He said, "You're going to be surprised. Lancaster, he's got some nasty stuff. He's got. It looks like he's got one of those heavy fastballs and a nice slider."
Mattingly's taken 2 good strikes. Munoz loosening up in the bullpen. Nothing in 2 on Don. Velarde at first, Hayes down at second. And that's got to be 2. Taylor Meade double play right there. So nothing across, and at the end of 7.5, Yankees 4, Tigers 3. We're going to the bottom of the 8th inning. Tony Phillips to bat. Strike one.
Doherty still looking for his first hit here in 1992.
Oh, yeah, he's been on twice, 2 walks here.
You know, you talk about the disabled list and how many guys are on the disabled list. It just really tests your depth on your bench, on your ball club. When you get guys, we got some activity now in the Tiger bullpen, Doherty and Henneman. But what I was saying is, you got guys like Tony Phillips who are superstar utility guys, super utility guys. They can play all the positions. So when you have injuries, you get guys like this, and I mean, they really can fill in for you.
Yes.
And they become really the most important part of your ball club.
Very important. A little low, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
We saw the 2 Tigers warming up. That Doherty kid, he's from the Bronx in New York.
And another kid from Eatontown, New Jersey in the ball game. A little low, 2-2. Nobody out, nobody on here in the bottom of the 8th. Foul back. Yankees scored 2 in the second, 2 in the third, and then the Tigers scored all 3 of their runs in the 5th inning of Melito Perez. Perez pitched a fine ball game. Still 2 balls, 2 strikes. Robert Riley having a birthday today from Staten Island, New York. You know I hated to do that one before. Not really. Got him! And Phillips doesn't agree. But he's out of there.
Well, we'll see.
Oh,
Looked pretty good to me.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
It looked a little bit farther away from Tony Phillips because he pulled off the ball.
Yeah.
And when you're hitless, you know, it seems like everything goes against you.
Yep.
Of course, when you pull off like that, you can't hit anything.
Carry on. Finally hits the ball. He has struck out all 3 times that he's been up there. He got a lot of timely hits when he was with the Mets.
They traded a pretty good pitcher for Mark Carrion, too, Paul Gibson.
Oh, yes, yes.
He did an outstanding job for the Tigers last year.
He's had some bad swings up there tonight.
Yeah. He needs to turn it up a notch or two. He's been way behind on all the fastballs.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you got the adjustment to the American League. You're seeing guys that you haven't seen before.
Very true. Whoop. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Rob Deere is injured. He's got a stiff neck, so he hasn't been able to play for a few days. Carrion playing in right field.
Now who's he taking hitting instructions from?
Oh, Rob Deere had Walt Reniak.
Walt Reniak.
He worked with Reniak this winter.
Boy, I tell you, he's
Not so much on the hitting aspect, but the middle.
Yeah.
Approaching.
And he's not striking.
Cut down his strikeout job.
Got him for the 4th time.
Habian striking out the first 2 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. He's found the strike zone now, and another late swing by Mark Carrion. 4 strikeouts in a row, yeah.
All right. Travis Fryman, the batter. He struck out once, fly to right, popped to first. Strike 1. Boy, Habian has done some kind of job. And he knows his role, and even though the long relief man or the middle relief man doesn't get much credit, he has done an outstanding job last year and this year.
started out with the Orioles. He was the third-round pick of the Orioles back in 1982. That's Steve Farr beginning to throw now.
He was number 1 pick, did you say?
Well, he was a first-round pick. Third round pick that was.
Steve Farr, he's the closer. Although Steve Howe did a great job last night.
Fabian really paying some dividends right now. The Yankees got him from Baltimore in a trade that they sent Stanley Jefferson to Baltimore for Fabian back in 1989. And Fabian got his first shot with the Yankees in 1990, and then he was here for the full season of 1991 and really established himself in that wonderful bullpen that the Yankees had.
Oh, for 2 years now, they've had a dandy.
Well, I guess if the Yankees came up with 5 pretty good starters, we wouldn't hear much from the bullpen
That's
anymore.
right. That's right.
They lose their celebrityship.
Just outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. There was just some club in the paper today. I'm trying to think which one it was. Said, with all our starting pitches, the bullpen's not going to get too much work. That could be playable if somebody can get to it. And Mattingly, oh, I didn't think he'd get close, but the wind brought it back to him. And
the wind brought it back, and he had his glove wrong. I think he misjudged it. Instead of cupping it like a basket catch, he was trying to catch it. The ball was coming back at an angle on him, like right there. And if he had turned the glove over and caught it
the way he normally does,
the way he normally would.
All right, no error.
He had to go a long way. I'll tell you, I sympathize with these guys because I played 2 years in San Francisco. The wind blew every day like this.
Much worse than this,
right? It was you've heard that old saying, every game is an event.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, every fly ball was an event in San Francisco.
Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. The Yankees lead by a run here in the bottom of the 8th. Job, Fabian. How many in a row is that? Anyway, at the end of 8, it's the Yankees 4 and the Tigers 3.
Not just baking, city banking.
Stay tuned right after the game for the Channel 11 News at 10. Jerry Gerard will have all the sports, along with Heidi Tang, Marvin Scott, and our Emmy Award winner, Bob Harris, with the weather. He's the winner of 7 Emmy Awards, including, oh, wait a minute, Channel 11 is the winner of 7 Emmy Awards, including Bob Harris for the weather. 7 Emmy Awards. Always liked Heidi Tang. Never knew why Channel 7 unloaded her, but...
Well, we got a new pitcher, Scooter. Youngster from New York.
Yeah.
Born in the Bronx.
All right.
6'4", 200 pounds. John Doherty. And he has really come on strong. He's got a nasty sinker and slider. And Sparky's going to use him as the setup man for Mark Henneman. For Mike Henneman, that is.
Okay.
And possibly, if Henneman continues to have some soreness in his elbow and what have you, he could become the stopper for this Tiger ball club. That's how fast he's come. He's only been in baseball since 1989.
All right, Roberto Kelly fouls it back upstairs, strike 1. Top of the 9th inning. One. grass. Stayed on the grass, he'd had a base hit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Real young man I know is at the game tonight, Tim Heath. And he wants to say hello to his mom and dad, Ellen and Bud Heath, back in Basking Ridge, New Jersey. By the way, Ellen is one of the mainstays of the Money Store.
I've heard of that.
All right, Roberto got himself 1 base hit tonight.
Yeah, Doherty got away with that one right there. He hung a breaking ball right up in the strike zone. That's in Roberto's wheelhouse.
It's amazing how well this game has been played considering the weather.
Yeah. Only 1 error by the Tigers. That was Alan Trammell. Normally a sure-handed shortstop. The only people that really have shown much problem is the pitchers who have found a little bit of a problem finding strike zone.
Tough play. Would have never gotten him anyway. This is a fast infield. Norman, it used to be real slow.
I think it's a frozen infield.
You're right. All right, Kelly leads it off with a base hit here in the top of the 9th. And now Mel Hall. Mel has had himself a good night, a home run, a single, 2 RBIs, and he was called out on strikes and lined hard to right field. Ball 1.
Taking a long look at Clete Boyer at third.
He's trying to throw that ball down and away from Hall.
I think the only sign that Clete would give Mel Hall at this stage of the game would be the home run sign. Of course, Mel is looking for something that he could pull between first and second. Fielder holding Roberto on at first base. Big hole between first and second. At least you ought to take 1 shot at it.
3-0.
Doherty acts like that he's having some problems with the mound. Every time he throws the pitch, he kind of looks down like there's a high spot on the mound or his foot's not catching the right spot. You know, we've had, he's the 4th pitcher tonight for the Tigers. It's been 6 pitchers in the ball game, and everybody digs their own hole.
Yeah, that's right. Strike 1, 3-1.
Well, we've covered just about every angle for the pitchers tonight. Cold weather, they can't get a good feel.
Munoz back up again. Runner going, and it's fouled back. Full count, so Kelly will be going again, probably. The umpire would that have been ball 4, and I think he said yes.
I really don't believe in swinging on a 3-1 pitch for the right-hander out there unless it is the ball that you're looking for.
Yeah, right. Left-hand hitter. Runner going again. Holy cow!
Watch out!
They get you, John Moore. And ricocheted around the booth here.
That was not a ricochet romance.
No, that's right. It was not a romance. Boy, you have no chance to get out of the way. We're so clear.
I've never seen him look so white.
Yeah, he really is.
He looks
pale.
a little pale right now.
Yeah, I thought it really hit him.
Don't worry, you got 2 of the best glove men in all of baseball sitting right next
And
to
we
you.
got our gloves on,
Yeah.
too.
All the things that he's done for us, I mean, all we could do is add a little protection for him.
Yep.
Right out loud. Oh, he said that's the reason he ducked.
All right, still 3-2. Nobody out. He doesn't have a good move over there. He wheels well, but he takes a long time getting rid of the ball. So you get a little bigger lead than normal. There goes Kelly. And it's foul down at third baseline.
That has to hurt. I mean, when you hit a ball off the end of the bat like Mel Hall did then, those fingers go numb. You got to walk around a little bit to try to get some feeling back into your hands.
I guess the gloves help a little bit. But way back in the old days when you never had gloves. He's going again. There's one ripped to right field, and it's in for a base hit. And Kelly will go to third easily. Boy, he had some jump. So Mel Hall has himself a fine night. 3 for 5.
Good base running by Roberto Kelly because he took off. He never looked back, and he knew that the ball was going to fall in if Carrion, for some reason, would have caught that ball. Of course, he's doubled up easily at first base. But those are the decisions that you have to make.
Yeah, good base runners, as you say, they know, they can judge. Nobody out, first and third for the Yankees now. There's a big run out there that's got to be gotten in, and Turnbull's been able to do it so far in the early part of this year. He has walked twice, popped a second, and struck out. The infield is halfway. At short and second, strike one. Base hit to center, and Tartabull does it again. Boy, he gets those. Ball was bobbled by Carla, but Hall had to go back. So the Yankees now lead 5-3.
A big run for the Yankees here in the ninth inning. They still have an opportunity to put some more on the board. Nice swing by Danny Tartabull. Lines it right up the middle. And that smart base running by Roberto Kelly going from first to third. He scores easily.
Yep. Tartabull getting those RBIs. Doherty will be working now to Matt Noakes with nobody out. Oh, here comes Sparky. He will not be working to Matt Noakes.
I don't think you warm Munoz up. He's the only left-hander they have in the bullpen. And
here
he's there for a purpose, so you might as well send him in to try to get the left-handed batter out. While the pitching change is being made, let's take time out along the Yankee Baseball Network for the following messages. Well, a new pitcher, Scooter, Mike Munoz, a left-hander. And he's getting his shot here in 1992 along with John Doherty. The Tigers losing Paul Gibson, of course, in that carry-on trade, along with John Cerruti. And Jerry Don Gleaton has also gone from the Tigers from last year. And Munoz is the only left-hander that the Tigers have in the bullpen. That's some right-handers.
Doherty had not allowed to run all spring training. Mention this one right now. Nobody out yet, and Noakes backs away from a breaking pitch. It's over, strike one. He's talking to the umpire saying that he didn't think that was a strike. There's Hall at second base, and over at first base, Danny Tartabull. Nice play by Settleton, 1-1.
Settleton's had a workout behind the plate this evening.
Yeah.
A lot of balls in the dirt.
Hit all over.
Put him in the whirlpool after this game's over with.
Just a little bit late on that. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That's high. 2-2.
He made his debut yesterday.
Munoz?
Yeah.
Fair ball. Oh! Fielder, how I'm telling you, he's unbelievable. He didn't really bend for that one, and I think the ball just came up and went right in his glove.
He's deceptive. We talked about it. 250
Yep.
pounds. He moves pretty good at first base. Pretty agile over
There
there.
it is.
And I'll tell you what, that's an outstanding play.
It is.
Both
Nonchalant.
Mattingly and Fielder have made outstanding plays at first base to
Yep.
save runs.
And they're walking Barfield intentionally to load up the bases. Jesse has ripped 2 line drives, a double and a single. Also popped a second and struck out. We'll get an intentional walk. And that'll bring up Charlie Hayes. Yankees with a chance to pick up another insurance run. Takes the shin guard off. Charlie Hayes is playing outstanding ball for the Yankees in the field and at the plate. He's 2 for 4 tonight.
Steve Farr, who was warming up before this inning started, he had sat down, and the inning is lasting a little bit longer, so he's getting back up to prepare to warm up to come in the ball game, I'm sure.
Ball 1. So the Tiger infield back in double play depth. That's Tartable at second, and Barfield at first. I got 2 out of 3, Mercer. You got 3 for 3. Okay. Look at him lean forward. I just missed 2-1.
Of course, the Yankees making a trade with Philadelphia to bring Hayes to the Yankees, and a good battle in spring training. Mullins and Hayes won out. Mullins was sent back to Columbus.
Good break for the kid. Boy, he had a good pitch to hit. Fouled it off 2-2. Gotta root for that kid Mullins. I tell you, he's really a wonderful kid.
I'm sure you'll see Hensley before the year's up.
Yeah.
Bam Bam will be back. So many things happen in the course of a year, but he's got to take the right attitude. And he's got to go back to Columbus and prepare himself and not get down and say, oh, well, I got a raw deal and take a bad attitude down there. He's got to take a positive attitude.
He's got a lot of kids will go back after they've had a couple of good years back in Columbus and say, well, I did in Columbus. Well, I have to go down and do it again. Well, you sure do. You want to come back up here. Bases loaded, 1 out. Oh, man, did he have a pitch they hit that time. A hanger, that. And he just fouled it off. On the mound. Sparky has used 5 pitches in this ball game. And a base hit to center. And 2 runs are going to score. Hey, I'll tell you that Tartable's got some speed. Is that Tartable? Huh?
Yeah.
he surprised me on that one. But Charlie Hayes with a single drives in 2 more runs. And now the Yankees lead 7-3.
Well, the Yankees.
Good play by Hall. You see him kick that bat out of the way?
Well, you better, because Tartable was right on his heels. Yeah. Another key hit by the Yankees. The Yankees have won the first 2 ball games by timely hits, and the Yankees certainly some timely hits here in the latter part of this game.
Pat Kelly takes a strike. Kelly's 0 for 3, looking for his first hit. Yankees have 15 hits. Make that no balls and 2 strikes on Kelly. 1 out. One ball, 2 strikes.
Boy, your infielders and your outfielders, they just hate this.
Oh, you got to be tired.
These long innings when it's cold and windy. You stand out there and it seems like it's forever.
Yep.
And you're saying, please throw the ball over the plate. Let him put it in play. Maybe we'll have a chance.
It is tough. You get up on your toes.
And you know what that does is you're never in the game. I mean, you're not on your toes, like you say. You're not really ready to move for the ball. You lose your concentration.
Yep.
Plus your body gets stiff, too.
Ruck him out. Kelly goes down, and now there are 2 out.
The Yankees put a lot of pressure on this youngster's back. I mean, when they traded Steve Sachs and just handed over the second base job to him after half a year last year, that's a lot of pressure on the youngster.
The only way that they solved it a little bit was saying, we don't care what he does with the bat. You know he's a great fielder. I'm sure they would like to have him hit at least 250. Who is that?
That's Cataray.
Oh.
So Cataray now throwing. They may want to save Farr since they've scored a few more runs here in the 9th inning.
Good thinking, Mercer.
But isn't he scheduled to start a game up in Toronto too? I could be wrong.
I don't know.
We'll try not to manage too much up here this year.
Randy Velarde, the batter. Strike. 2 balls and a strike. Yankees lead 7-3, top of the 9th. Strike 2, 2-2.
Right now, there's not a save on the line for somebody to come in the 9th inning.
Nope.
And Farr last worked on Tuesday, which he earned the save. it's got in the notes that Greg Cadaret is slated to start on Monday in Toronto.
Oh,
That's slated to start.
Slated, yeah, well, maybe he is just loosening up a little bit.
That's 3 days from now, so he got an inning in on Tuesday.
3-2, the runners will be going. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out. Well, one good thing, Gooden had himself a good outing today, even though he was a losing pitch. He gave up just 1 run in 6 innings. The Mets were shut out. High, it's in play, a high pop-up. Could be trouble. Nope, Gladden's got it. All right, but the Yankees pick up 3, and at the end of 8.5, it's the Yankees 7, the Tigers 3. New York Yankees baseball has been brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, who reminds you friends know when to say when. The Tri-State GMC truck dealers. See your Tri-State GMC truck dealers today. Con Edison's Enlightened Energy Program. Con Edison asks all of us to use energy wisely.
All right, Scooter, we've got a new pitcher, and while we go through this inning here, we'll try to bring you up.
It is Steve Farr, huh?
Bring you up to date on a
Okay.
few things, if we get a chance.
We'll get a chance. Is that Bergman?
Yeah, Dave Bergman,
Dave Bergman.
batting for Kyler.
One-time Yankee. Right, 1-1. Boy, that thing really broke.
It doesn't make any difference how cold it is. You'll always see Steve Farr out there with no long sleeves on.
Isn't that something? Good pitch, strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
That pitch looks like an Annie Over pitch.
It does. How do you like that? Curve out of the strike zone. He just went down and golfed it to left field for a base hit.
That was the best pitch of all of the
It
pitches
was.
in that sequence. And he got some wood on it. Watch him go down.
Look at that.
He was just fighting it off and lifts it over Hayes' head into left field.
All right. That'll bring up Gladden. Bergman's at first base. Strike 1
Cadaret still throwing in the Yankee bullpen. He's just getting his work in.
for Monday. All right.
Yeah, for Monday.
That's foul down the right side. Nothing in 2. Bottom of the 9th. Nobody out. Yanks lead by 4. And he just swings up, but going to get it. Kelly comes in, makes the catch.
Let's check out our game summary brought to you by Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers. Advantage Jeep and Eagle. Paul had a solo home run, a long one. Back in the 2nd inning, 2 singles and 2 RBIs. So Mel Hall with a great game. Hayes with 3 singles and 3 RBIs. Last inning coming up with a big base hit to drive in 2 of those 3. Habian went 2 1/3 innings, so the bullpen still very strong out there, and he pitched himself out of a jam a couple of innings ago. So a nice job done by John Habian.
They've been just about perfect, the bullpen. Strike 1.
That brought to you by the Tri-State Jeep and Eagle dealers.
Okay. 1 man out. That's all he could do with that one, is slide it right in on him, and he hit it well, but he couldn't hit it fair. runner at first base, Dave Bergman. Outside. Strike 3. He knew it. Oh, Whitaker knew it. Looking for a breaking pitch, and Farr crossed him up with a fastball.
That ball, look at Noakes. He's looking for the ball inside, and the ball moves back over the middle of the plate, almost on the outside part of it. But no doubt Whitaker was looking for the breaking ball.
All right, 2 men out. And now Alan Trammell. And that should do it. Kelly makes the catch for the final out and the final score. The Yankees 7 and the Tigers 3.
Well, a good game for the Yankees again tonight, Scooter. They are perfect, and so are the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers still looking for their first win of 1992. The Yankees are 3-0 now, and you got to give the bullpen a lot of credit. They've done the job again tonight. Perez struggled a bit early. He couldn't find the plate, but he held tight, and he's going to pick up the win tonight, so he gets the win in his first start of 1992. But once again, the Yankees with some timely hitting in a ball game, and of course they come up victorious 7-3 on a very cold and looked like that we weren't even going to have a ball game because it was drizzling and rainy. They didn't have batting practice early in the game, and they were calling for rain and thunder showers throughout the night, but the rain held off, and the Yankees pick up a win, and they'll be back here tomorrow afternoon.
I tell you, they're gaining more and more confidence with each passing game. They just go out there and they look like they're going to be winners. I mean, last year they were going out there and just trying to make it a pretty close ball game. But this year they're in command. I tell you, it's really a pleasure watching them.
Well, that's it from Tiger Stadium. The final score once again is the Yankees 7 and the Tigers 3. And be sure to join us for our next telecast. That's Tuesday, April the 14th at 7:30 when the Yankees meet the Toronto Blue Jays right here on WPIX. Now stay tuned for the Honeymooners coming right up. Good night, everybody.